50th time. Press pause. Put the controller down. It's time to talk about the gaming industry. My name is TJ Leo.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is the 50th episode of Press Pause, a gaming podcast. Let's give ourselves a freaking hand for sticking in there. You just keep going. You just keep going. No matter what they tell you, they just keep going. How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm fine.
Yeah? Surviving the storms?
Yep.
And the heat?
Yep.
The heat's been bad. Although it wasn't too bad yesterday.
Well, I'm surviving it when, because now I've got my AC off since we're recording. We'll see how long I survive into the show. But other than that, yeah, I'm good.
Just be glad we're not recording tomorrow. It's supposed to be like 33, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Gross. But we're getting a lot of rain, so, you know, it's a good balance.
We had a day that was basically nothing but rain the whole time from start to finish.
Yeah, what was it? Wednesday or Thursday? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, brutal. These giant storms just keep rolling in.
And it was fine for a bit, and then it got really, really humid.
Yeah, all that rain, and then the heat. That's how she goes. It's going to be a bad summer, I'm feeling it. But we'll survive. We will survive. So let's get to some housekeeping and some corrections. As always, we are on YouTube for video and YouTube music for in-video and audio-only formats. Don't forget to join the Co-op Club Discord community server. The link is in the description. Come in there, join us, talk about wrestling, talk about games. A lot of talk about politics lately. Let me tell you. There's just a lot going on in the world, and people got to vent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to talk about it, but not too much. You know, we ride that line in there, not to go too deep into it. But I do have some corrections from last week. Nothing significant, but I went over games that were missing in action from Summer of Gaming and Summer Games Fest and the showcases and all that kind of stuff. And I missed out 6. I missed out on 6 ones that didn't seem to make an appearance. And we're not really sure why they didn't make any appearances. So they are as follows. Replaced, which is the Ukrainian developer, I believe. That game, I think, was supposed to be out sometime last year, but...
Well, considering the circumstances.
Exactly. The obvious.
Any game from a Ukrainian studio is, I assume, just as a general thing, up in the air for now.
Yeah. It is supposed to release this year. I think it showed up at the Game Awards or something like that. It showed up recently somewhere, and they confirmed that it is on schedule for this year, so... Okay. And that game looks great. Looks very cool. It's like a side-scrolling... There's
something that's not on schedule for this year anymore, but we'll get to that later.
We will get to that. Yeah. I know we're going to have some opinions on that one.
Oh, I got a lot to say.
Yeah. Another game that didn't show up was Slay the Spire 2. Even though we've seen that teased a couple of times now, and it just wasn't there. So that was kind of weird. Little Nightmares 3, also kind of just absent. Although now that I think about it, Animal wasn't there either. I think that's what the...
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's the one from the original Little Nightmares team, right? Yeah. I didn't see that one. Usual June was not there. That was one I'm kind of looking forward to seeing more of. And then kind of the 2 biggest ones, I think, are State of Decay 3. Still MIA completely.
Still percolating somewhere at Undead Labs.
Yeah. And Judas. Kevin Levine's new game, the BioShock looking game, which I'm also looking very much forward to. So, yeah, some MIAs there. I don't know what they're waiting on unless, because I mean, like most of the developers, I feel like, and publishers were waiting on GTA's release date, and now that they know that it's pretty far away, they're like, okay, we can release our stuff. But the fact that we haven't heard anything from any of these guys in the Summer of Gaming kind of tells me that maybe these things are a little bit more further off than we thought.
It's possible.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with those.
Before we move on, I just want to say something. It's not directly related to us, but it's in our sphere. Shout out to infinitely more successful video game podcaster Wooly Madden, who just announced a few days ago that he's going to be a dad.
Oh, always a good thing. Well,
yeah,
as long as it's on purpose, I guess.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations. Absolutely. I have never and will never be a kid person. I don't think, as long as it's not mine, I should say. I get along with kids just fine, but don't want any of my own.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever have the energy to do that.
Yeah.
But I love being an uncle.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got cousins, and what do you call your cousins' kids? Is that a cousin too? I don't even know what the relation there is.
I think that's also just nieces and nephews.
Nieces and nephews. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got a nephew. No, I've got 2 nephews and a niece, I guess, technically then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My younger niece actually just had a dance recital, which was she's 3, so her routine wasn't very extensive, but
fun and cute.
Yeah, fun and cute, and she when her mom, my sister, went back and got her back and brought her back into the seats. She was really happy to see me and just kind of hung out. There goes the view screen.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
And then we went out to have a little celebratory dinner. That was fun.
Where'd you
go? We went to Swiss Chalet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. The one that they just renovated?
I have no idea.
Is it the one near the mall?
I haven't been to a Swiss Chalet in a while, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. They just renovated that place. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I haven't been to it yet. But you gotta love their chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I think Swiss Chalet is a Canadian thing, right? I don't think they have it in the States.
I don't know. I mean, it's called Swiss Chalet, so I don't know. But
that doesn't mean anything. We get Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, that could mean literally anything. I mean, Boston Pizza is a Canadian franchise, so it doesn't really mean anything. They have chicken quesadillas, which they didn't last time I was there. Although, I mean, I haven't been to a Swiss Chalet in a long time. It was good. It was really good.
Yeah, I've been there a bunch. It's delicious. It kind of gets a reputation of like the old people restaurant.
It does.
But it's good.
Well, this one was very modern looking.
Yeah. It's nice. Yeah, it's very very nice. Yeah, no, they're great, and I just checked. They are indeed Canadian. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just a name.
Just a name. I think Kentucky Fried Chicken was started in like Texas or something like that. So.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was actually started in Kentucky because it's like it being, like from where it says it's from is like a big part of its identity. Like Colonel Sanders and all that is
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, real guy, not a real colonel. It's more of an honorary title than anything else.
This is starting to feel like a Random Encounters episode.
Yeah,
get out that bingo card.
That show that we never make, except for that one time. That never went anywhere.
Poor owl bastard, sitting in the dark still. All right, well, let's get on to gaming. It'll happen one day, absolutely. I've kept all the good stuff. It's ready to go. Just has to happen. It'll happen. All right, so let's get into what we're playing. You said you haven't really had a whole lot of game time this week.
No, because I like all the stuff I've been doing. I've been busy the last week or so.
Fair.
I've been looking for stuff. I've actually been I kind of been working my way through old DOS games, trying to find something that I might have missed out back in the day. And man, there's a lot of garbage. Like I knew there was, but like actually having it laid out in front of you, it's like, wow, DOS was a dumping ground for all sorts of horrible stuff. Now, granted, a lot of that stuff was made by like, one dude in his basement or whatever. Although strangely enough, those are usually the good games.
Mm-hmm.
The weirdo, one-off games. I mean, hell, case in point, very big successful game. Prince of Persia was made by, I guess, technically two people,
Mm,
but one of those people was Jordan Mechner's brother, who was the model for the Prince, like all the motion capture, all the running
mm.
around and stuff, all the rotoscoping that he did. So basically, a one man
One man
team.
army. Yeah.
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 But yeah, like it's just like I know where the good games are, but that's because I played them as a kid, and it's just been like, man, there's got to be something I missed in here, right? There's got to be something good that I just never got my hands on back in the day. But so far, I've not been having a tremendous amount of success.
Why don't you just look up like a top 100 DOS games list and just see
Uh,
what's in there and what you haven't played?
I've done that, and
Oh,
it's
and you've
mostly
played them all.
it's mostly the stuff that I've played.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Well,
Yeah, I did a lot of DOS gaming as a kid. I've always played games on like absolutely everything that could run a game.
oh,
So yeah, it's just been tough. I know there's got to be something out there though.
I wonder if our very own old school legend would know,
No, perhaps.
because he is a classic gamer.
Yeah.
He was talking on the Discord community server about something he recently did. He's a very busy fellow, so I don't get to see him talk too often. But every so often he pops in, and I'm like, oh, look at that, what you're doing.
hmm I've been thinking about investigating some other platforms. Like there's a lot of Commodore 64 to dig into because I didn't have a Commodore 64 back in the day. I remember you
Like
did.
me, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I had the big
that was
floppies one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was actually the first place I ever played a Commodore 64. Was at your place.
Yep.
And so I've been looking for stuff there. The thing is, a lot of good stuff there is also like it's just the Commodore 64 version of a DOS game,
Yeah,
right?
and
Like
there's a
there,
lot of like unlicensed stuff too.
yeah. And that seems to be the thing is like looking at all the old retro computer systems. It's like most of the good stuff was multi-platform, so
Mhm.
it's like
Why would you play the DOS version of that? You know?
yeah, like or there's like maybe there's an Amiga version that's better than the Commodore 64 version or something like that, you know.
Yep.
So that's what I've been doing most of my gaming time lately. I just haven't found anything to really sink my teeth into yet, but I'm looking.
Fair. Fair. I've played. So I finished one game. I got some early impressions of a couple other games.
Okay.
And then I'm obviously still playing Monster Train 2, but I think I've talked that game to death. It's still
Yeah.
amazing. It's getting to the point where it's really hard though. So
Yeah.
I'm getting deep enough into it where I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I gotta think more.
Yeah,
I gotta think a lot more. So yeah, great game still. But let's start off with the game that I completed. And I've got footage of it to run in the background
Oh,
here,
here we go.
courtesy of IGN. So this is Planet of Lana.
It's very pretty.
It's gorgeous. A lot of people can sort of compare it to like a Studio Ghibli
Yeah, that was
type of
kind of my
animation.
first. That was my first thought. It's
Mhm.
very reminiscent. It's got a very similar color palette, lots of cool,
Beautiful.
earth tones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Great animation as well, which we'll see as the gameplay here rolls on. This is a pre final build of the game. Visually, it looks exactly the same. The audio is different. Not that we can hear it,
Yeah.
but visually, this is a good gameplay romp here. But it is a side-scrolling. There's a very specific genre. You never played Limbo or Inside, right?
No, but I know how those games
You know what
are.
those are, yeah. They're like
Yeah.
side-scrolling walking simulators with puzzles and
Yeah, it's less about combat and more about figuring out how to get around.
yeah, immersive storytelling. No
I
real
mean,
talking.
That's basically what Carrion is. Although Carrion does have combat.
It's more action oriented, I would say. Yeah,
Very, very violent combat.
yeah. This is definitely not that
No.
kind of game for sure.
No.
But yeah, as you can see,
Did
it's
you ever
gorgeous.
play Carrion?
I did. I played it on the Switch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, weird game.
Weird game. Really
Very
good.
weird game. Yeah,
I'm
very
looking
cool.
forward to whatever the hell they do next.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to start keeping track of like indie studios.
Yeah.
Because like like there's so many games, like indie games that I've played, and I'm like, oh man, I wonder what those guys are up to these days. Maybe that'll be a future extra.
Yeah.
Diving into indies and
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about studios and stuff.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
That'd be cool. Yeah. But yeah, so it's a side-scrolling adventure game. Lots of puzzle elements. There is technically voice acting, but they speak in a language that you don't understand.
It's like a gibberish thing.
It honestly sounds like a real language. They do a decent job of making it not sound just like
But it's not like, oh, this is just in like Finnish or something.
No,
without an English dub. It's like this is like a manufactured language.
Correct. Yeah. And unless it is a real language and I don't understand, but there's no subtitles, so I don't think so.
Could be.
Yeah. But as you can see here, you have to use your little pet creature here named Moi.
Yeah, your little critter.
Yeah. So he once he leaves the button there, then the thing drops. But he can jump quite a bit farther and quite a bit higher than you can. But in some cases, you do need to do some of this kind of work to get him across gaps and stuff like that. And
you know what this kind of looks like to me now that it's zoomed out a bit? It kind of makes me think of Flashback. Remember Flashback?
Yeah. Very similar to Prince of Persia style,
Yes. Yeah. But with a gun.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There's no combat in this game. There is enemies that you have to either avoid or destroy using the environment. So they're basically like environmental puzzles. You might see some in this footage here, but it's a short game though. It's probably
sure.
And as long as you don't get stuck, I would say it's probably a good 5 or 6 hours, something like that.
That's probably a good length for something like this.
Yeah, it didn't overstay its welcome. It didn't get to the point where I was like, okay, I'm tired of walking right. Because I've definitely played games like this where you're walking right for so long that it starts to get a little old. There are sort of pan out cutscenes, but not really cutscenes. Like the game never really pans away from this shot, so it's always following you from start to finish. But sometimes it will like go really far out to kind of give this like amazing vista view. Like at one point you're like on like a salt lake, so it's like a huge barren flat surface with mountains in the background, stuff like that. The story is pretty simple. I think there's more to it, though, because as we found out during Summer of Gaming, there is a sequel coming, which I kind of closed my eyes for because I hadn't beat the game yet. So I was like, I don't want to know. But basically, at the beginning of the game, this creature's not with you. She's in a village with people, and she's hanging out with someone, and it's not really ever made clear if it's like a best friend or a brother or a sister, or like it's kind of ambiguous. It doesn't really specify like who they are. But you're looking for them in the town, and you get to like this big vista. You're looking over the beautiful view in the background, and then these like alien spaceships suddenly land, and they start kidnapping all of the villagers and the people, including your friend or brother or whoever it is. And so she leaves the town chasing these ships that are flying somewhere on the planet. You haven't seen any of the machines yet in this tutorial here. But it's all about figuring out why those machines are there. And then you do meet Mui. I can't remember how to pronounce the exact same. I should know. I hear her say it all the time. Mui? I think it's Mui, and then her name is Lana, hence the name of the game, Planet of Lana. And then she's looking for her friend. I think his name was like Elo. She keeps saying. So you kind of like start to recognize names that they say throughout the game, but never really understand anything beyond those particular things. As you can see, you can command your little creature to follow you and stop. This creature's kind of like, as you can see, it attracts attention from these other creatures in the world. That's really never explained either. But again, there's a sequel, so I'm assuming that we're going to get more information on that in the sequel. But it's all about using Moi and jumping skills, and as you can see here, you got to like use him to maneuver that platform so that she can jump across.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find combat here. I think it's right here. I think this was from like not a tech demo, but like a vertical slice that they showed off at like E3 or no. Okay, well, there's some machinery. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not an enemy or anything like that. There we go. I just saw it in the preview here. One of the enemies. By the way, the whole game does not look like this, just to be clear. Like, it's not just in forest the whole freaking time, luckily. Yeah, there's one of the enemies.
Oh, it's very reminiscent of the Guardians from
Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I think what it's probably going for is probably like a virus. Like, you ever seen those really zoomed in views of a virus? They got like the weird spider legs.
Yep. Yeah,
And the
creepy.
almost geometric shapes.
There's a name for those things. I can't remember. But yeah, I know what you mean. They also make this really amazing sound. I would play it in here, but the final sound is not in this particular video, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay.
But the actual sound is just like I would choose it as a ringtone.
Yeah,
like, it's that kind of cool.
Man. Great
sound design in this game, yeah. And there's reasons for the sound in the game. There's connections to the sound and stuff. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think there was a couple of points at which they could have expanded on the gameplay a little bit more, made it a little bit more, I don't know, added something, you know. It does get slightly repetitive, but what's always really pushing you is the story and obviously the visuals.
Yeah.
Just a gorgeous game. I'd probably give it like a, you know, our review scale is 1 through 10, no points in between. So I can't quite give it an 8, so I would give it a 7. So it's good on our rating scale. But I'm definitely looking forward to the sequel, which is coming to Game Pass, I think this year. I could be wrong. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time with it. I do want more explained, though. It doesn't end on a note that indicates a sequel, which is interesting.
Okay.
So it could have been just a one and done, but obviously they have more stories to tell, and maybe they learned a lot of things about gameplay and evolving that. So
yeah,
we will see.
Or maybe it just did really well and they want to make more.
Yeah, that's also very possible as well.
Totally valid.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, they got it on Game Pass, so they got that sweet Game Pass loot.
Yes.
Twice actually. It was originally on there and then disappeared and then came back after the sequel announcement. So so that is that one. And then this one you'll laugh probably. So Nintendo Switch Sports, which
it refuses to load.
This is the problem I was having before the show. There we go. So this is the, I guess, second sequel, I guess, technically, to Wii Sports.
Yeah.
Because there was Wii Sports Resort. I never played Wii Sports Resort. I only played Wii Sports. I mean, I loved it just like pretty much everyone in the world did. I got, really hooked on the tennis game and the bowling game. The rest of them were kind of just okay. But as you can see, there's some games that return here, like the bowling and the tennis. But there's also badminton, basketball, golf, and volleyball, I think, in this one.
That looks like the Shazam logo.
Shazam! It does kind of, doesn't it? So I've only played the tennis and the bowling just because I wanted to see the differences between Wii Sports and Switch Sports. And gotta say, not really feeling it. For whatever reason, I remember the tennis feeling a lot better than on the Wii Wiimotes than it does on the Joy-Cons.
The Joy-Cons don't have all of the motion sensing, sensors
tech,
I guess. The tech. It doesn't have all of that the Wii remote does. It has like a gyro. It has an accelerometer. But it you don't have like the sensor bar.
That's true.
For pointing or for like distance from the sensor. So.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't
it's not.
feel snappy
Yeah, it's
like it should.
for something that it works just fine with like gyro. It's not really any different. Like a Metroid Prime on the Switch has the motion controls from the Wii version,
Mm.
and they are pretty much the same as they are on the Wii version. I wouldn't say they're 100% identical, but they're pretty close. They're like 90% of the way there.
Yes.
Um,
So the bowling feels okay.
yeah,
Th-
because you could do that with just the
yeah.
gyro and the
They
accelerometer.
changed it though, which really annoyed me. So in the Wii sports version of the bowling, you hold down what is it, Z, the Z button on the back of the
Hmm.
remote, and you do a bowling motion, and you let go of the button when you want to let go of the ball. Well,
Yeah.
in this one, you just hold down the button and you don't let it go, and you just swing forward. You don't have to let it go; it just does it for you.
I wonder if that's because of concerns that people would end up like throwing their
Throwing the
Joy-Cons, because the Joy-Cons don't have the straps on them the way that the remotes do.
yeah, you have to attach the manual ones, the guards.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe that's why. But I it doesn't feel as good because of that.
Yeah.
It's like it just feels like I'm just doing this. And I got
I
like
mean,
8 strikes in a row, and I was like,
my thing would be like you push the button when you want to throw, because that's usually the point at
yeah,
which you put the most force into it. So that would be the point where I'd say maybe you should have the people now grip the controller extra hard to push the button
yeah,
instead of like if I was designing that even on the Wii version, I would have said absolutely not. Do not instruct the player to let go of the button,
that's
even if
fair.
it is the logical way of doing it, like just for safety reasons
Yeah,
and
for sure.
liability reasons.
Yeah, yeah, and then the tennis just feels like it has like a latency to it that isn't
Yeah.
snappy. So
Yeah, Arms had that as well.
yeah, it did. Yeah, yeah. So I'm not really impressed. If I wanted to play Wii Sports, like I would at this point suggest just breaking out your Wii and playing
Yeah.
Wii Sports. That being said, I haven't played the other 4 mini games, so I'll do that this week and see if there's any in there that I'm like, oh yeah, this feels great. Like I haven't played the badminton. Maybe the badminton feels better because for whatever reason that they changed the tennis to 4 people on the court at once instead of just 1-on-1,
Hmm.
which is
They
fine.
call that singles and
And
doubles.
doubles, yeah, which is fine, but it just why didn't you just give us the option of doing singles and doubles? Why is it doubles only all of a sudden?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just have to do some more diving, but not impressed. Yeah, in first impressions. And then finally, also first impressions I have are for another Nintendo game that it's been taking me a while to get to, which will load eventually, I'm sure, is Pikmin 4. So I've played Pikmin 1. I played a
Hmm.
little bit of Pikmin 2 and hated it because of that timer thing that they introduced, where it was like you have to beat the game within 30 days or whatever it was. And then Pikmin 3 I never played. I think that was a Wii game, maybe? Or a
Well,
Wii U
Pikmin
game?
1 has the time limit. I don't think Pikmin 2 does. Because you,
Does it?
yeah, because,
It's been so long.
yeah. Because I know that 1 does, I mean, I haven't played 2 in a long time,
Yeah.
but I know that 1 does, and I'm pretty sure the reason I like 2 a little bit more is because it doesn't have that.
Okay, so maybe
Because
maybe I got it reversed. Yeah.
Yeah, because he crashes on the planet and he can't breathe the air.
Hmm.
The planet is Earth, by the way. Like,
Yeah,
there's absolutely no question
in
that it's
all of
Earth.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, even this one
um,
too. The first thing you find is a GBA.
yeah. Like it's abundantly clear that it's supposed to be Earth,
Yeah,
but
they keep crashing there,
yeah. Well,
and they don't see any humans.
yeah. Well, in 2 they go back willingly, like it's to explore the planet properly. But I
Mhm.
never played 3, and I haven't played 4.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't played 3 at all. Don't even remember it visually.
Oh
Um,
wow, fidget spinner.
yeah.
It's weird to see, like,
There it is. There's the Game Boy.
yeah, but it's weird to see, like, oh, this is clearly on Earth some point in the future, but it's weird to see an object that didn't exist in the first game
Yeah.
in like the potentially ruined world of Earth.
Yeah.
Because I always assumed that this was like after humans were kind of gone.
Yeah.
Because, like
I
you
mean,
said,
those items look pretty good for an
that's
old
true.
planet, though. It's hard
That's
to.
true.
I mean, does anyone really care about the
Yeah, it
story of
doesn't.
Pikmin?
It doesn't
Really?
even really matter. But I just,
No, I understand. I understand. It's something to question.
yeah.
So I'm enjoying it, but unfortunately, it does still have this old school Nintendo way of doing things, of where it pauses every fucking 30 seconds to have a pop-up discussion or to tell you how to do something, and it just
Mhm.
pauses it and pauses it and pauses it, and it just treats you like you've never played a game before. And
Yeah.
it's like, this is what Nintendo used to do, especially with Zelda. Like, oh my god, Zelda treated you like you were the biggest moron in the world until
Oh
finally
yeah.
Breath of the
Like when
Wild.
you remember how when you get out of the Kokiri Forest, and then in Zelda 64, and then the owl starts talking to you,
Oh,
and there's the
fucking hell.
chance that when he says, did you get all that? That you might screw up and pick
Yeah.
no. Tell me again. It's like no,
No, I don't want to
fuck.
listen. Yeah, I didn't want to hear you
Yeah.
the first time. Like,
Yeah.
let me figure it out on my own. Yeah, so like it feels like an old Nintendo game, which it kind of is. I'm pretty sure Pikmin 4 came out at the beginning of the Switch generation, so
Something like that.
it's
Within
not
the first
old.
year, I think.
Yeah. So I think it still has that mentality.
Like, I
But
appreciate that they try to explain everything to you, but I wish there was like a setting where you could say, "Hey,
I've played games before.
yeah, I've played or I've played this game before."
Yeah, I mean,
And
this is the
don't-
4th game in the freaking series. You'd think
Yeah.
they'd ease up a little bit, but no. No, it's just like Pokemon, where they treat it like it's the first time you're playing the series every single time. And yeah, I'm getting past that point where it's treating me like an idiot, but man, it's just so hard to get into a game like this because it's like such a slog. It's like, yeah, I get how to play. Thanks. If I need you, I'll let you know.
Mhm.
But it's cool. You got a dog now that can like break stuff, and you can eventually ride him to make things go faster. And there is a day and night cycle, so you got to do as much during the day as you possibly can, and then get back.
Yeah.
You can see it in the top left corner. I'm enjoying it. Again, it's just early impressions are like, I've never beat a Pikmin game. I've always played like the first few hours and then kind of just had enough. So I'm hoping I stick to this one. This is another one that I got from the library. So we'll see. I've got three more weeks with this thing. Hopefully I can take it out to the game completed pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all I really have to say about it at this point.
That's a pretzel.
Pikmin.
I thought that was like a coiled up dog turd for a second.
Yeah, that is actually one point I wanted to make, was the game's not very pretty. It's fine, but like it's kind of,
Well, it's cartoonish.
yeah. I don't think this would stand up to history though, the way that a lot of games that Nintendo makes does. It's fine. It's just very bland. Not from a color standpoint, obviously, but just from like a detail standpoint.
I mean, I remember Pikmin 1 as being like one of the best looking GameCube games, but that's from hardware from 2001.
Yeah.
So
I think I know what it is. I just came off of Grounded. And that game's fucking gorgeous. Which I'm not going to talk about that game this week because we have so much to talk about anyway. But I did beat that game. We're done with Grounded, so I will have a Grounded review next week. I just don't want to take up too much time because we got a lot to get through. But yeah, lots of games. Games are fun. All right, let me switch on back. Cancel that. And switch on back to our regularly scheduled program, shall we say. And we're going to start things off, or continue things on, I should say, with the Metacritic Check-In. So Alters is out. We talked a little bit about it last week. Let's see if there's any updates on the score. Sitting at an 84 from critics, so still doing pretty well, and an 82 from users. So seems to be doing quite well. Can't wait to play it. It's on my to-do list. It's on Game Pass. I really want to play it. I have a feeling I'm going to get absolutely absorbed into that game. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. The Gex Trilogy remaster is out. Early reviews sitting at a 74, which
That's
I think
it's pretty consistent with the games. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Gex.
Yeah,
Those
exactly.
games were fine. They were fine.
Well,
Gex 1 is like, Gex 2, Gex 2 and 3, they're fine. They're like totally fine Mario 64 clones. They're 3D platformers where you have to find MacGuffins in levels, like themed levels. It's,
Yep.
it was just how things were done back then, and they're not as good as Mario 64, but they're also better than a lot of the other Mario 64 clones. So I'd say, something in the 70s, totally fine place for them. That's what they are.
I have to assume that this is like a tester to see if they want to make another one.
Yeah.
It's usually what these are. Just they did it with Crash.
Right. And then Crash 4 didn't sell super well.
No. And they did it with Ratchet and Clank. And that did really well.
Yeah, that did do really well.
Yeah. So
where's our new Spyro game is my question. Did that remastered trilogy just not do well?
I don't know, because I enjoyed it a lot. I played it. I played all three and beat all three. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question. I don't know.
I like the Spyro games. I like them a lot.
Yeah, they're very good. I don't know if it was like a Skylanders thing at the time where there's like, we don't need a fourth one. We have Skylanders, but I don't think Skylanders is a thing anymore, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, like I could have sworn that they shut that down. Like it was over. But who knows?
Yeah, I'm not.
There's no way to know.
I'm not in the. Yeah, we don't have access to a worldwide information network.
Yeah. The next step on Metacritic Check-In is FBC Firebreak, the new Remedy game.
Yeah.
And it's not doing great. It's not doing great at all. I did play it.
Yeah.
On Game Pass. I just did like the training, and then I did one match. That's all I did. So I can't say that like I'm deep into it or anything. But it's sitting at a 65 from critics and a 59 from users.
Yeah, that's honestly kind of the 65 is about what I expected. What did you think of? What did you think of it?
I think that's probably accurate. It feels like Remedy's take on Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, it's exactly what it looked like, except not with any of the advantages that setting might provide, like having cool psychic powers or anything like that. Yeah.
I did uninstall it because I was just like, this fast-paced co-op shooter type game is not my cup of tea. I had my fill with Left 4 Dead 1, and then I just didn't need any more of it after that. Like I tried Left 4 Dead 2, and I was like, yep, this is more Left 4 Dead. And then I tried, what was that, Back 4 Blood?
Yeah, I played the shit out of Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, and then I was like, yep. I just, you ever hit that point where you suddenly realize, oh yeah, I'm done with this game. I'm not going to touch this again for years. Like down to the moment where you feel it. Yep. Yeah, I just kind of, I had that. Sometimes you trail off stuff with Left 4 Dead. I was like, oh, I've just reached it. I've just reached the moment where I've had my fill of this, which is fine. Like I absolutely got my money's worth out of that. But, I was just done with it.
I call that game and that kind of, not that game, but I call that feeling one hit wonder. And that's kind of what Left 4 Dead felt like. It didn't create a genre. I mean, it did, but that genre didn't really explode the way that Left 4 Dead's popularity did at the time.
Yeah.
People have been trying to do it, but
because those same guys, of course, tried to do Evolve.
Yeah, that did not go well.
And which is unfortunate because Evolve looked like it was actually pretty cool.
It was a cool concept. It just didn't pan out. Did they close, or they stay? Or are they still in?
No, they're still around. It's just that Evolve.
Right, Back 4 Blood was their last game.
Was their next take on it, which is where they were like, let's just do the thing that worked last time, and it didn't work this time.
So we haven't heard from them. So that Back 4 Blood was released in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably due for something soon.
Yeah, I hope they come out with something good and land on their feet, because there's clearly really talented people there.
I do have this conversation actually does link to a news article later in the show. Remind me when we get to, well, I'll save it. I'll save it. Let's see. Next up in the Metacritic Check-In is Lost in Random: The Eternal Die. This is the Lost in Random spinoff. It's like a top-down roguelike, or roguelite, I should say. Sitting at a 79 from critics and an 85 from users.
I actually played Rogue as part of my exploration into older games that I never played back in the day.
Yeah.
Man, that thing was basic.
Yeah, it's very basic and extremely difficult.
I mean, I've played NetHack, which is kind of like an enhanced version of that, but man, Rogue is even more basic than that.
I went back and tried the original Dwarf Fortress.
Oh God. Yeah,
that was painful.
I was never able to get into Dwarf Fortress.
I tried the new one and I was like, this is a deep fucking experience that I just don't have the patience for. It's I like the smaller like versions of that, like RimWorld, stuff like that. That's a little bit more my speed. But anyway, back to Lost in Random: The Eternal Die. I did play it. I played the demo and I enjoyed it. Seems fun. You know, I don't think it does anything revolutionary for the genre, unfortunately. So I kind of just wish they just did Lost in Random 2 instead of the spinoff, because Lost in Random was great. So we'll see.
They are doing it too, aren't they?
They haven't announced anything past this. Yeah. Because this is the team that spun off into the new team that did Midnight Walk.
Oh, okay.
So Midnight Walk is by the new people, the new studio, and Lost in Random: The Eternal Die is the next game from the original Lost in Random team, or what's left of it. But yeah, I hope they do an actual sequel, because it's a great game. And then finally in the Metacritic Check-In, we have Rematch, which is, I believe, the guys from Sifu.
Okay.
It's a soccer game. it's a third person soccer. I think we talked about this before. It's Rocket League, but soccer, regular soccer.
That's just soccer.
Yeah. But you play the individual players instead of like having the overhead view like you do in typical like EA sports games. So like every player on the field is a player. It's a human player.
Rocket League unique and took it away.
Yeah. So it's sitting at a 76 critically, but it's sitting at a 95 by users.
Huh.
So I played this as well. I didn't play an actual match. I just played through the prologue tutorials, and it's fucking deep.
Oh, really?
Like, there's so much control to it that I was like, okay, so this is just like Rocket League, in which this is the game you play, and this is the game you get good at, essentially. If you don't have that kind of dedication to it, you're going to get the floor wiped with you. But there's so many button combos. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, you have full control over the ball. Every button does something, and it always depends on the specific scenario that you're currently in. You know, so if you're running, if you're sprinting, if you're slowing down, all the buttons change based on your speed. Like, it's deep. It's very complex, which is why I'm pretty sure that's why the user score is so high. Because online people and Rocket League fans are probably going to go absolutely apeshit over this game.
Yeah.
That being said, though, this game's in the news, and it's not a good thing.
Okay.
So we'll get to that in the news. But yeah, I know it's not my type of game, but it does feel great. It does feel fantastic to play. Speaking of the news, let's get into it, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yep.
I'm not. I assume you heard about this first news article, but I wanted to make sure that it was brought to your attention. And it's the sad news, because we always lead off with the sad news, because we want to get that out of the way before we get to some of the juicier stuff. And that's I'm gonna probably butcher her name. All apologies in advance. But Peek Sen Lim, an actress known for her roles across British and Malaysian television, including the Dark Souls narrator and Mind Your Language, has passed away at the age of 80, per Malay male. I'm going to say that as Malaysian male, probably. The Penang born actress appeared in numerous roles over the years, including appearing on Doctor Who as Chin Lee in The Mind of Evil. Lim also gained international fame for her role as Chung Soo Lee in Mind Your Language, a British comedy from the 1970s. She also appeared in series like Coronation Street and Spearhead, as well as American TV shows like Vampire Academy and The Nevers. On the film side, Lim played the killer cleaner in Johnny English Reborn. Lim also played an important role in video games as the narrator for opening cinematics of Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3. These cinematics laid the groundwork for the story ahead and are often remembered and quoted in the Souls and From Software fandom. So RIP.
Yes, very unfortunate.
I obviously not a Dark Souls familiar, so I don't particularly recognize her, unfortunately. But I know that you are a big Souls guy, so you would know this.
Yeah,
thought I would be remiss not to bring it up. On another kind of somewhat serious note, our next article is all about Nexus mods.
Yeah, they're under new ownership, aren't they?
The article reads, PC Gaming Mod Hub Texas Nexus Mods is under new ownership for the first time in 24 years, as creator Robin Dark One Scott has handed off the baton for the sake of his mental health. The figurehead of one of the biggest gaming sites on the internet posted about its next chapter in a message published today. It comes with confirmation that Scott has already officially stepped away from Nexus Mods, quote, following months of meetings, face-to-face talks, and a whole lot of soul-searching, end quote. The message keeps many of the behind-the-scenes details under wraps, but says two new individuals, one named Victor and another named Marinus, I'm going to say that is, have adopted the leadership role, with both of their profiles now bearing the site owner title. The leadership change signals the beginning of a new era for Nexus Mods, and for Scott, a much-needed break. Quote, the strain of being responsible for the behemoth I created has taken its toll. The stress of the job has become a regular source of anxiety and stress-related health issues. I realize that I've been burning out, and this started to have an impact on my staff and Nexus Mods as a whole. So I firmly believe that the best thing for the future of Nexus Mods is for me to step aside and bring in new leadership to steer the business forward with renewed energy to make Nexus Mods the modding community we all truly deserve. So smart decision on his part. Take care of your mental health, people. I never used Nexus Mods. I'm not a big mod person, per se. Obviously, I just recently got a PC that's gaming ready, but I did used to do some mod stuff with like City Skylines and well, I think Diablo had some mods back in the day. But for the most part, I've always used Curse for mods, or just like Steam Workshop.
Yeah,
The built-in stuff, right?
Yeah.
But Nexus Mods is huge. So thought it was something important to bring up. I'm not really familiar with that community though. You ever use mods? You a mod guy?
It depends on the type of game.
Yeah.
It depends on the type of game. Like old school Doom, dude, I've got so many, absolutely so many mods, so many custom levels. And I like to jump in and just kill some time with it because it's fast and easy to get into, and it's Doom. Yeah. Shoot demons, they die real good. But for more modern games, it depends. It depends.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that downloads like the Thomas the Tank Engine in every game kind of a thing. It's not my bag. It's funny to see, but I'm not somebody who would download it just to experience it myself. Like the game I've probably modded the most, or actually two games, is World of Warcraft and City Skylines, because City Skylines had like game-changing level additions, like traffic management. Like you could go down to like change the lights at the various intersections and like change how lanes work. All this kind of like deep stuff that the developers just for whatever reason never added. And some of the mods actually became official add-ons. In expansion packs and stuff like that. So
yeah, the There was a multiplayer mod for I think Just Cause 2 that was officially incorporated into the game in
Oh wow,
the PC release.
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I occasionally have like modded like Elder Scrolls and Fallout games, but I always use the built-in mod manager for those. So I get them from
Hmm.
Nexus Mods, but Nexus Mods has like their own software for mod
Yeah,
management, which I guess
Curse does too.
if you do a lot of modding for a lot of games, it's handy.
Yeah,
For me, it's a very occasional thing,
that's
and
insane. Yeah.
it's usually for like for fixes. Like I had a mod for Morrowind that adjusts the way that leveling works
Hmm.
in that game. Um, and there's a lot of those for the Elder Scrolls games because different people have different tastes on how leveling should work in those games. People
Excuse me.
especially for like the level scaling in Oblivion. I actually had a mod for that as well, although it didn't work right, so I never used it again. But
There's a
that
mod
was
for
for the
that.
yeah, that was for the original version of Oblivion though.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember. There was another game that I modded. I used mods a lot for. I was thinking about it and I lost it. Damn.
Yeah, for me, it's more like custom levels and stuff, like Team Fortress Classic and Team Fortress 2 back in the day.
Mm.
So many custom levels, but you didn't need to use a mod manager for those because if you connected to a server that was running a custom map or custom scripts or something, it would just automatically download them to your system from that server. It was
Yeah,
really really slick.
yeah. The
Um,
same thing happened in Soldier of Fortune too. They had
yeah,
like realistic damage mods. So if you
yeah,
got shot in the head, it would say
yeah.
one
You're
shot
just
kill.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I used a lot. I think that was part of like why I really loved that game.
Hmm.
I hated the bullet sponge type first person shooters.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
shoot a guy in the head, it should be over.
yeah.
Um, yeah, we could probably do a whole episode on mods. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's a big part of the gaming community.
Yeah, but I don't envy this guy because Nexus Mods is the kind of site that catches a lot of shit.
Mm,
Um, and I've been like I wouldn't say that I've been critical of Nexus Mods specifically, but I've been critical of the idea of one website kind of being the linchpin for mods on PC gaming in
yeah,
general.
yeah. I
Now
remember that topic. Yeah.
Steamworks, making it having it built into Steam has kind of changed that, but like I remember, when that mod came out that removed all the
Oh
pride
yeah.
flags from
Hmm.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and Nexus
Stupid.
Mods took it down, and they said, "Look, we took this down because this person is a known troll and is just looking to start trouble," and people were complaining about that, and I said, "Well, the mod still exists. You can still get it. You just can't get it from Nexus Mods."
Hmm.
Or that I don't know if he uploaded it anywhere else, but he could have, right? It was
Yeah.
just that like because people had chosen Nexus Mods to like just be the de facto source. I was like, well, this is what happens when you put all your eggs in one basket. Now, as to whether or not that was the right thing to do, I can tell you that I wouldn't host a mod like that if I
Yeah.
was like curating a website because I would know that that's just there to start trouble.
Yeah.
But like controversial mods that come out of like a genuine place, I would say, okay, this isn't a troll. This is a legitimate statement or something that somebody is trying to make.
Hmm.
Um, that'd be different. But like the point I'm trying to get to is that when you have to make decisions like that all the time, and you're going to catch shit for
It's
like
stressful.
no matter what decision you make, yeah, it's stressful, and I'm honestly surprised that this guy didn't pass the site off sooner because it's just
24 years. It's a
yeah,
long time.
it's kind of a thankless job.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our next topic. This one is a little strange. I'm going to read it all and then we'll dive into it. So I think there's a few things to take away from it. And it's all about Xbox.
Hmm.
So Microsoft has announced a ongoing partnership with AMD to power the next generation of Xbox, including its first-party future Xbox consoles.
Hmm.
Quote, announcing that we're building the next generation of Xbox first-party devices in cloud, including our future Xbox consoles together with AMD. End quote. Microsoft failed to detail its plans, but did promise, quote, next level performance, cutting edge graphics, breakthrough gameplay, and unmatched compatibility. End quote. It also said everything it's working on will be fully compatible with users' existing Xbox game library. We've established a strategic multi-year agreement with AMD to co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices, including our next-generation Xbox consoles. Together, we're delivering deeper visual quality, immersive gameplay, and AI-powered experiences grounded in a platform designed for players, not tied to a single store or device, and fully compatible with your existing Xbox game library. Our next-generation hardware lineup across console, handheld, PC, cloud, and accessories is what we're investing in. The news confirms Microsoft's plan to release another home Xbox console as well as an Xbox handheld, but no release date was mentioned, but Bond did say we can't wait to show you what's next. So in some ways, this was kind of a non-announcement.
Yeah. Oh, they're making another Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a lot of people kind of went a little overboard on this, but there is some things to take away from it. So number one, they're continuing their partnership with AMD, which is not surprising.
No.
AMD has been the console of choice, powering all the consoles for ever, basically. I don't think NVIDIA has ever powered the consoles, right?
The original Xbox had an NVIDIA GPU.
Oh, okay. And then they switched dramatically after that, right?
Well, the Xbox 360 was PowerPC, and that was in conjunction with Toshiba, I believe. But ATI supplied the graphics hardware, and then ATI got bought by AMD. Right. And so from the Xbox One and the Xbox Series, they've been using AMD. Same with PlayStation, PS4, and PS5 both use AMD. And the GameCube, the Wii, and the Wii U all had Radeon graphics processors. In fact, there's a powered by ATI logo on the GameCube. However, the Switch and Switch 2 are both powered by NVIDIA SoCs.
But the Xbox and the PlayStation, I think, has vastly been
they've been AMD for over a decade now.
Yeah. So there's that to take away, which is continuing, which is, again, is not super surprising. There's confirmation that they're working on another console, which is not surprising. They're confirmed that they're working on a handheld, also not surprising.
Yeah.
I think what is not necessarily surprising, I would say, but something to read into, is the fact that this announcement is coming off the heels of their showcase. Why wasn't it at the showcase? And I think I have an answer to that question.
Okay.
I think they got such good feedback from that showcase that they wanted to capitalize on it.
Yeah, they just wanted to ride that wave. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because I can't imagine that this AMD agreement was just put into place between the showcase and now. This thing has been done for like a year plus, probably.
Oh, easily.
Also, something to take away from this, I think, is if they're announcing it now, I suspect that the next gen Xbox is closer than we think it is. They don't normally talk about this until it's about a year to a year and a half out.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we may end up getting the next gen Xbox
late 2026, early 2027.
Fall 2026. If not, I don't see them doing a spring 2027 release. No, it's very against their style.
They've always launched in November. Every single Xbox has always launched in November.
Yeah, so I think at the longest wait, November fall 2027.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely possible that they're gearing up for next year, man.
Yeah,
this is weird.
It is possible. It was only 4 years from the original Xbox to the 360. So
yeah, and I think they know that they've lost this gen, and the last time that this happened, they started early with the 360 and it dominated. until
Yeah.
the end of the
I
generation.
mean, this
Obviously,
gen
but
has kind of been a wash for
oh
both
yeah,
Xbox and PlayStation. Like the PlayStation 5 is doing better, but
oh yeah, way better.
relative to the Xbox, they're both getting their asses kicked by the Switch. And if the early
Mm,
sales of the Switch 2 are any indication, and those trends continue, they're not going to fare any better against that.
no, no.
Um,
Especially if what's the price going to be? That's the big question.
yeah. Especially now with because now it's not going to be, oh yeah, we're bumping up the price or we're just not dropping the price or whatever. It's going to start high.
Mhm.
So yeah,
One thing also that she said, she being Sarah, what was her name? I know her name. I just don't remember it
Bond,
off the top
right?
of my Sarah Bond. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, one thing she specifically said, and sometimes you can't read into the way they word things, but
Hmm.
she did say consoles. So I don't know if that's confirmation that we're going to get another X and S type
I think it is.
deal. See, I was kind of under the impression that the thing that would make the most sense for them to do is just make one
Yeah,
console,
consolidate again. I mean,
and then the
I
handheld can be their S.
yeah, I would
You know,
love for that to be the case.
yeah.
But this is Microsoft we're talking about.
I don't know though. They're
The-
starting to make smarter decisions. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Microsoft is they'll make some
They
smart
dropped the
decisions
ball.
for a while and then they'll do something stupid. So I don't know.
PlayStation does the
I
same thing though. I
yeah.
think there's. I think
Oh
we're on the wave, the wave that goes towards Xbox right now.
oh yeah yeah
PlayStation's just fucking up left, right, and center. So it's like, yeah, they're doing great right now, but how much goodwill are they losing, and how much
yeah
goodwill is Xbox gaining by all the decisions that they're making? So for me personally, I'm on that wave.
yeah.
I'm looking at next gen, going, why would I buy a PS6 right at this point in time? I mean,
Hmm.
obviously they have tons of time to sell me
Yeah.
on what the PS6 is going to do. But right now, I'm looking at Xbox going, oh, cool. It's going to be Xbox, good old games, Steam,
Hmm.
Epic Games Store, and I'm missing one. Um, Integrated into a console that I can just plug into my TV.
Hmm.
That sounds fucking sick to me.
Yeah.
You
Good
know,
deal.
that's a sick deal. I'm not saying you can't do that now, because technically you could just hook up your PC
Yeah.
to your TV because it's got Xbox Game Pass and
Hmm.
Steam and everything. But it's a console experience, right? Where there's none of the hassle of PC gaming and making sure your drivers are up to date and all that stuff.
Do you remember when there was speculation, and this like 15 years ago, that there was going to be a Steam client for PlayStation 3 because
Yeah.
they had account linking,
Yep. Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
like, nope, nothing
Nope.
came of that.
Nothing.
And I mean, like it's. I always thought like that was a stupid thing to speculate because what people are gonna start porting their PC games to the cell architecture just so that they can have a Steam client there. Like that's just called a PlayStation 3 port, and Sony's not gonna undercut themselves by letting Steam take the digital sales cut instead of the PlayStation Network store.
Which is a super interesting thing to think about, that Xbox is allowing other stores on their platform. It's like,
Yeah,
are
well, I
they getting
mean,
a cut, or
I think it's mostly just going to be a Windows box.
speaking of that, further comments from Sarah Bond. Quote, this is all about building you a gaming platform that's always with you so you can play the games you want across devices anywhere you want, delivering you an Xbox experience not locked to a single store or tied to one device.
Hmm.
That's why we're working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the number one platform for gaming.
Yeah, that's why I say I think it's going to be a Windows box. Which I mean, if you want to get technical, it kind of is because, as we've mentioned before, the X in Xbox is for DirectX, which is the Windows,
Mm-hmm.
series of multimedia APIs.
Mm-hmm.
And the Xbox systems have always run on a modified version of the Windows kernel. Obviously, you don't have the desktop interface or anything, but the underlying foundation of the system is the same, so that DirectX will work.
Yep.
So, this just seems like kind of a. It sounds like it's just going to be an extension of that, which is honestly probably what it should have been with the series, if not the one.
Yeah,
Like,
it's going to make.
You
Go
remember
ahead.
how the one had all that talk of it being the all-in-one entertainment center, like movies, music, television, and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
well, you've got Windows Media Center PCs that don't exactly fly off the shelves. Maybe you could reposition. Like, I remember thinking that maybe they're repositioning the Xbox as sort of the thing that the Windows Media Center PC was supposed to be. And I didn't have a problem with that because I like the idea of one box being able to do it all. But people had a problem with that, and of course, Microsoft said that they were going to make a commitment and then didn't follow through with it. Remember when they were going to be doing like original video content for Xbox, and they made that one documentary about excavating the Atari cartridges, and then that, in fact, they shut down that division before that documentary was
Came
released, and it was the only thing that ever came of that initiative.
Not only that, but I don't think it was a great selling point because people have smart TVs.
They do.
Why did we need a box?
Well, but at the time of the Xbox One, that wasn't necessarily the case. Not every TV was a smart TV back then.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good thing they didn't go with that idea
because now every TV is a smart TV. Yeah. And you've got Netflix and Hulu and whatever on every television.
Yeah.
Which is what my sister uses. I go to her place and her daughter, she wants Bluey. I just pick up the remote and I go to Disney Plus and there it is.
Yeah.
But if this is just effectively a Windows PC, like, on the one hand, like, I'm not going to be into it because I already have a Windows PC. But I can see it being a compelling option for people who are mostly into gaming. Like, it remains to be seen how much of Windows you can utilize. Like, is it just going to be gaming focused, or is it literally going to be fucking install whatever? I imagine it won't be, just because of the, like, it would be kind of pointless when people can already buy a PC. And the security issues, like, and the cheating issues on Xbox Live would be out of control if that was the case.
I think the biggest benefit for them for doing this is probably more so the architecture problem, because now developers don't have to really develop for 3 different seeds, right?
If your Xbox is now really just a Windows PC with an Xbox skin, and, like, the system kind of locked down from the user in the way that a game console typically is, then there's
development costs are hugely cut.
I mean, already, like, one of the big appeals of the original Xbox was that because it was based so much on the same kind of hardware used in PCs, it was a lot easier to port games to. Also, part of the reason why it was so big.
Size of a bus.
Yeah. But that kind of went away with the 360 being Power PC based. Then it kind of came back with the Xbox One, but then the PS4 is also basically a x86 PC, not Windows, but so it's a little bit harder to develop from Windows to PS4 than it was to Xbox One. But in neither case, it's become easier because the hardware has become more and more shared, more and more commonplace. And this kind of feels like the next step of that, if that is indeed what they're doing. And it sounds like it is. I mean, you don't just say we're working closely with the Windows team if it doesn't involve a more, direct implementation of Windows.
Yeah. The next Xbox games could literally be the PC version, but with certain things stripped out, because just to make it, more customizable, or not customizable, more accessible for console players, they'll just limit the options, like the graphical options, to blank, 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 blank. This is what the game is going to do.
Yeah, if you're playing on the Xbox, it'll just say, okay, well, we're just going to lock you into these settings, performance mode, quality mode, whereas, on the PC version, you'd be able to select, low, medium, high, whatever.
Or heck, maybe they'll give you the option to have a custom mode and be like, if you want a less frame rate, but...
There are games out there that do that. I think it's whatever the last Star Ocean game was, I believe, had that, even on the consoles. And it worked well. I mean, you could make it
Crazy.
work bad, but you could make it work good as well.
Right. Yeah.
The what else was I going to say? I had another point to make, and I just lost it.
Graphics.
No,
multiple
it was
stores. Windows-based PC.
yes, thank you. That's what it was. There was a time for the Xbox One when do you remember when they were trying to do the Microsoft Store thing? I guess they're still trying to do that. I don't know.
Still, yeah.
Microsoft App Store. They had universal Windows applications. That was a thing for a little while. And for a time, all Xbox One games were going to be released as UWA software that you could get on the Microsoft Store. I don't think that ever really went anywhere because a lot of those just got released like on Steam and stuff, and I think that's where everybody bought them.
Yeah.
But it's not, this wouldn't be their first attempt to make the Xbox version and the Windows version the same, like literally the same executable and the same code.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that in a way that doesn't lock it into the Microsoft Store, great. And it sounds like maybe that might be what they're doing with these multiple storefronts. So, we'll see. I do think, like I said, it does kind of call into question why you would bother buying an Xbox if it's just a PC. But if
you don't have a PC,
if it's cheaper, or if you just want something you can plop down and play games on, but now you just have that many more options.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, okay, I can see that. And I really do, and I've talked about this before, I do like the idea of kind of doing away with these walls between platforms, which we've been seeing more and more over the years as more and more games come to PC and have good PC versions, and not like, remember during the 360 and PS3 era where a lot of PC ports were kind of crap? And that hasn't been the case for over a decade now. So, well, I mean, it still happens.
Yeah.
It still happens.
Mostly PlayStation.
But it's not like
it's not over. It's not like you can't bet on it being the fact
exactly,
now. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's now the exception. Exactly.
Yeah.
So in that regard, like, I'm kind of happy with that. I've said this before. I do think it is all eventually just everybody's just going to be making games for PC because it's, I think so too.
There'll just be different versions of PC. You'll have the full customizable PC, but then you'll have the Xbox PC. The Xbox thing,
the pre-built one that you get.
That being said, though, I think the one thing that a lot of people are glossing over in this announcement is this really puts PlayStation in a weird position. Because now Nintendo has always been the walled garden.
Yeah, Nintendo's always going to do its own thing.
Yeah,
they will die on that hill.
Exactly, but they survive.
Said that they will die on that hill.
Yeah, but the thing is with them is that they've survived every single time there's been a conundrum to overcome. PlayStation has never really encountered this situation where they are the walled garden amongst everything else. You know what I'm saying? It used to be like we had three walled gardens. We had Nintendo, we had Xbox, and we had PlayStation, and it was the battle of the exclusives. Really, that's what the console wars were about.
Yeah, and
now,
before that it was Nintendo, Sega, and then Nintendo, Sega, and Sony.
Exactly. It's just a different version of that. But now that Xbox has been like, we're multi-platform, this is what we do. They're opening up to that, and it's more and more common to see first-party releases from Xbox on other platforms within 6 months or day one at this point. It puts PlayStation in this situation where it's like, as a consumer, I can look at the Xbox and I can go, okay, so if I buy an Xbox next generation, I'm going to have access to all of my Xbox games. I'm going to have access to Steam, good old games, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Or I can get a PlayStation and have access to PlayStation games. And that's it.
And whatever multi-platforms come to there.
No, that's what I mean. Though it's like,
but it's not going to be all of them, and
but
it's
it's
not
not
going to
going
be
to.
Steam and GOG and Epic.
Yeah, you have such a smaller library now
Yeah.
on PlayStation, so it's like the reason that PlayStation dominated in the way that they did was because their exclusives were so worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this generation, they just shit the bed.
Yeah.
They have absolutely shit the bed, totally shit the bed. It's incredible. Um, it's astronomically stupid what they've been doing this generation. It's incredible.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel like the only thing that they've really kind of nailed it on is VR, but even then, like that's such a niche thing
it's very
because
niche.
PlayStation VR is great, but there's only a handful of games for it. It's better than the VR offerings on the Xbox, which
Which is
isn't
not.
really, yeah. Well, they had VR for the Xbox One, but it was in conjunction with Oculus. It wasn't like a
Oh, didn't even know
it.
that.
Yeah, well, it didn't go very far.
No, sounds
Um,
like it.
yeah, it kind of never became a long lasting thing. Kind of like their commitment to the Kinect. Oh, every Xbox One is going to need the Kinect, which it
and,
did for a little bit,
and now they're in
and then
hospitals all over the country.
yeah. Uh,
Well, speaking of PlayStation, let's move on from Xbox because
oh, yep. Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we
Sony
are.
and Bungie's marathon reboot, as expected, I think, by both of us on
Yeah,
the
this
last
is
two shows.
the least surprising news of the summer.
However, the bigger surprise that kind of caught me off guard a little bit on this is that it's been delayed, which we knew was probably going to happen after the
Yeah.
astronomical amount of artwork that they need to fine tune out of
Yeah.
this game.
Mm-hmm. I have stuff to say about that, but
Plus, I guess they've had some internal gameplay testing that didn't go very well. The feedback was not great.
mm-hmm.
But the big holy crap for me is it's been delayed indefinitely.
Indefinitely, yeah.
There is no date.
No new date. It's just
we got a bunch of shit to do, so this is it's coming sometime, maybe. We don't know.
Yeah. So
Whoa.
here's what I'd like to say, and I'd
Sure.
like to start this off by clarifying something, and I think I speak for both of us when I say this.
Okay.
We've had a lot of laughs at Marathon's expense. We've talked our fair share of shit about it. Neither of us wants this game to be bad.
No, of course not.
Neither of us wants this game to fail. We would both love it if Marathon came out and was great and was a huge success for Bungie. God knows the new one.
Yeah.
But this is the best thing that could have happened to the game, I think, is delaying it.
Remains to be seen.
Well,
but it's possibly.
It's from what I've seen, it's not in a launchable state. It's not fun, and it's a mess. It's not good, and it's not going to be ready for September. And I kind of wonder if maybe the plagiarized art that they found was kind of a blessing in disguise for them, because now it's given them like a legally compelling reason to delay the game. Like, we need to audit all of the visual assets to make sure that there's nothing plagiarized in here, which is going to take time, because like we've seen time and time again, publishers push stuff out the door even when the developers know it's not ready. Maybe this, being something that could turn into a lawsuit, it made the lawyers at Sony go, yeah, we got to delay. That's just my speculation.
It could also be that Sony looked at this and went, "We can't have another Concord." So
go
away.
You're giving credit to Sony that I'm not sure is necessarily deserved, but
probably not deserved. But we do have new leadership there. So
yeah, but when you look at the statement that Herman Hulst made, it was very corporate speak. In fact, I actually something that was pointed out, I believe by the developer of Sulaco, who let me check this out and see if they're the one who made the original statement, because this was a conversation that I made a comment on on BlueSky, and I want to be sure that I'm giving credit properly. Let's see. Go to my profile, look at my replies. Yes. So, Nextstick, the developer of Sulaco, um, pointed this out. They posted a screenshot of this quote from Hulst and said, quote, I was catching up on the marathon delay news, and this quote by Herman Hulst perfectly sums up why these games aren't for me anymore. Every single time all they talk about is analytics, test groups, engagement, and research data. The word fun is never used in any of those interviews. And I looked at that and I thought, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Herman Hulst isn't saying, oh, we delayed it because it wasn't fun. It's, well, we delayed it because it failed to engage or whatever. Well, I'll read the statement from the Nextstick's post. The quoted, like the screenshot quote of Hulst's statement is, some of that feedback, frankly, has been varied, but it's super useful. That's why you do these testings. The constant testing and constant revalidation of assumptions, which is a hell of a combination of words, that we just talked about, to me is just so valuable to iterate and constantly improve the title. So when launch comes, we're going to give the title the optimal chance of success, not beating the machine talk allegations here. Sounds like a fucking robot describing business. And this cycle of test, of iterate, of test again is such a key component of the live service success, both leading up to launch, but also throughout the life of the game. And we're committed to continuing to leverage our learnings to maximize engagement and player satisfaction throughout the life cycle of the title. It's right. He doesn't say the word fun in there. He doesn't say we needed to make the game more fun. It's about leveraging our learnings to maximize engagement and player satisfaction.
Imagine if Nintendo talked that way. God. Yeah, Sony's really becoming insane. Like this corporate. You're like at one point, it's so weird that the transformation of Sony, because like at one point you had like Jack Tretton and Shuhei Yoshida, and who was the big guy? The big guy,
Kazurai.
No. He was an American, I think. Remember the video that Shuhei did with somebody about the trading games. He's like,
oh yeah.
That guy.
Who was that?
I have his image in my brain. Yeah, I just can't remember his damn name.
Yeah, this is how you share games on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh
exactly.
yeah, that was a great move by Sony. Like just totally dunking on Xbox for that
whole showcase was just epic in every single way possible.
It's like you said, it goes in waves. Like Microsoft will be up and Sony will be down, or vice versa. Like that.
It's just so weird that
was when PlayStation was up.
Yeah, like when you speak to your audience, because like you can't speak to your audience like a business. You have to speak to your audience like they're a friend.
Yeah,
basically,
you have to show them that you give a shit about this thing that they're going to be spending $80 on.
Yeah, and that kind of speak that we just heard doesn't do it for anybody except your shareholders, maybe.
Yeah, that to me says, when they talk about maximizing player engagement for their live service, that says to me,
want to puke.
Yeah, that says to me, we're trying to find the way to make loot boxes most addictive. Not we're trying to figure out how to make the shooting feel really good. Like it's insane. It's insanity. And when Nextstick pointed out that he never used the word fun once in that, I felt like I was having an aneurysm. It was like, oh my God. He never says the word fun at all.
At any point.
All he does is talk about what sounds like making the game more addicting for players. Oh my God. What the fuck? Like this is the purest crystallization of what I've been trying to communicate about my feelings about this game since we started talking about it, is that it feels like slapping. Well, it seems to be slapping the name of a beloved property on something to extract the fiduciary value from it, and not because anybody at Bungie wanted to make another fucking marathon game. Like Like
I mean,
taking the name of your baby and putting it on this soulless corporate product and saying make this and sell it so that it can make us money. That's all that this has ever felt like to me, and it's driving me nuts.
I think a really good comparison of the a contrasting comparison of Sony's corporate viewpoints and corporate way of doing things versus fun and passion is look at Marathon and Concord, okay, and then compare it to the only other live service game that they've had recently that's been a huge success, Helldivers 2.
Oh God, yeah.
The comparison is night and day. You have two games that are dry as fuck, that have no personality, and then on the other side you have I mean, just watch the intro to that game, and it has personality at the asshole.
And the craziest thing is that Helldivers 2 is the least original. It's just a riff on Starship Troopers, specifically the movie version that Paul Verhoeven made, because the book is nothing like that. So it's like it's basically just lifting from someone else, and it is by far the most engaging one. It's the one that you can tell the developers are having a lot of fun with. You can tell they're loving doing this huge, stupid, satirical, jingoistic invasion game where, for all intents and purposes, the players are the bad guys because they're first striking for democracy. But they're like, people love Helldivers 2. It's still really popular. It managed to not be a flavor of the month, and people are still playing it. They're still loving it months after release. The whole linking your PSN account debacle has basically been forgotten. Admittedly, because they backpedaled on that, but still. And it's clear that people have passion about that game, not just the players, but the people who make it. Whereas Marathon has seemed kind of joyless to me. And that's why I've constantly brought up, does anybody at Bungie want to make this game? Like, I'm sure that they'd love to make another Marathon game.
But is this the game that they wanted to make? Is
this the one that they wanted to make?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it probably isn't, because it just feels so directionless.
Do you know another big difference between those games and studios are?
Hit me with it.
Helldivers 2 was developed by a company or by a developer that's not owned by Sony.
Oh, that's a good point.
So they don't have the same.
They don't have Sony breathing down their necks in quite the same way.
They published the game.
Yeah.
But they just paid them to do it. They didn't go in there and be like, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, you're making Helldivers 2? Cool. We'll publish that for you.
Yeah, we'd love to publish that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, some first party fuckery going around in Sony land. I mean, they had fucking Naughty Dog working on a live service game for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Stupid company, man.
Which
I don't know.
Like, of all the strengths that Naughty Dog has, why would you give them a live service game?
Oh yeah, plus Bend was working on one, and Bluepoint. Bluepoint, the company that's been making your best remasters and remakes.
Yeah, the company that has made their reputation on remaking other people's games, and
let's have them do a live service game.
Really good job of it. Like, I'm not saying that Bluepoint couldn't do an original game. I've got no reason to think that they couldn't.
I'm sure they will.
But why a live service multiplayer game? Like, you can't just throw that at any team and say, do it. Like, these are the guys who remade fucking Shadow of the Colossus.
Demon's Souls.
Yeah, these really artful games about slow-paced progression and like a story-rich experience, and now you want them to make a fucking loot box fucking live service shooter? Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's infuriating. It's utterly
Sony's
infuriating.
Just down in the pits of hell right now. They pull up, man. Pull up, which they are trying to pull up, but it's a multi-year pull up at this point.
Yeah.
I'll be very surprised if by the time PS6 comes out that they've fully pulled up, because I mean, right? We just listed 3 studios that basically had to just restart everything that they're doing because they were working on live service games when they fucking shouldn't have been.
Yeah, not even in the
It's a
first
joke.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
We'll
know. I would love for Marathon to be good.
yeah.
I would love for Marathon to be good.
I hope it does come back and they've given them the reins to.
If there was ever an opportunity for that to happen, it's now, which is why I'm not disappointed about this. I'm like, yes, thank you for delaying it because it wasn't ready to go.
No.
I don't know, man. I
Pull up, Sony. Pull up.
I try not to be pessimistic. I know that sounds weird considering all the things I've just said, but I genuinely try not to be pessimistic. I try to look.
I'm not pessimistic either.
Yeah.
I look at what the decisions these companies make and I go, which one makes more sense for me? And right now it's not PlayStation.
It's hard to be optimistic when you talk about the video game industry because there's so much fuckery in it. But
I think they'll swerve back. I just don't know what that looks like right now. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's historically been a thing for Sony where they do something really fucking stupid, and then they're back
every other generation, apparently.
Yeah, that seems to be the trend now.
Yeah,
but yeah, I hope Marathon is at least decent.
Time will tell.
I don't want these people to have spent. I mean, they've spent the last decade on live service games from between Destiny and Destiny 2, and then
what a life!
Yeah, and then to resurrect one of their old franchises. If oh god, if it's bad, what a horrible insult to the people, and not through any fault of Bungie's. Through the fault of their owners saying, reanimate this corpse, and God,
let's not take Bungie completely out of the equation because they've been called out 3 times now for art plagiarism. So they're not completely scot-free.
I'm talking more specifically about from on high being told,
I know what
make another live service game, make the third one in a row, and you
let these boys make a single player game. Come on,
they're really good at it.
Yeah, I mean they made Halo 1, 2, and 3, and
they made Marathon 1,
ODST.
2, and 3.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, we spent a lot of time on this one. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
This one has an update. So I'm going to read the original story, and then we're going to get to the update, which is maybe not substantial. We'll see. Metroid Prime 4 is in the news because...
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
A giant advertisement was discovered in London Underground, which I think is like the railway.
Yeah, it's
the subway.
They call it the Underground.
That was
or the
advertising.
Metro.
Yeah. And they were advertising Metroid 4 Beyond
as available now. Yeah,
out now, and there's pictures of it and everything,
and
which I have
would
here.
Be a hell of a shadow drop. Hey,
yeah, that's what we were talking about in the Discord server. I was like, "There's no fucking way they're shadow dropping Metroid Prime 4. There's no way." But now we've heard from Nintendo. It doesn't really clear anything up, though. I'm gonna read what their response was.
Well, I can clear it up real fast. You go to a fucking what's the retailer there, Game or whatever, and see if Metroid Prime 4 is on the shelves.
Well, I'm wondering. Okay, well, I'll get into what I'm wondering here in a sec. So their quote, IGN's quote here: Nintendo has confirmed to IGN that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond's advertisement currently at Oxford Circus in London is incorrect, and the game still lacks an official release date. Quote, we can confirm that the out now message on this advert is incorrect, a Nintendo spokesperson said. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Nintendo Switch 2 edition are not yet available or are scheduled for release in 2025. IGN has been able to verify the advert currently remains in place at the station, as detailed in our original report below. So there's 2 ways I'm looking at this. Number one, this was legitimately just a fuck up.
Yeah.
But that seems unlikely to me. I think that this went up early. I think that game is probably going to be out within the next 2 weeks. And this advertisement went up early. Someone fucked up that put the ad up early. I think they are. I don't think they're going to shadow drop it. I think we're going to get like a random Nintendo Direct that is specifically about Metroid Prime 4. And at the end of it, they're going to be like, out next Friday. They're going to do something like that.
Maybe.
And then this advertisement was supposed to be ready for that day. Because what are the chances that an advertising company would be like, oh yeah, we got to put this up, and they haven't even publicly announced a release date? It just seems a little.
Why would they have those printed and ready to go?
Yeah, little fishy. So I do believe that it was put up accidentally or by mistake, but I don't believe that it was because it doesn't have a release date. They know the release date, and it's soon, and it just went up too soon.
Well, that's at this point, Nintendo's got to know the release date because the Switch 2 is out, and they've been working on this thing forever. There's no way that they don't know the release date themselves yet.
Yeah, it's soon.
I don't know if it's like within the next 2 weeks. I think that might be a little optimistic, but
we'll see.
Maybe within the next 2 months.
The only reason I believe that they might, I wouldn't call it a shadow drop, but the reason I think it might be a quick drop is because if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on this. I'm trying to find an answer to my question, but I could be wrong on this. But I'm pretty sure that both Metroid Dread and Metroid Prime Remastered were either shadow dropped or like announced release date within a couple of weeks.
Metroid Prime Remastered was announced, and then I think was either like available now or
the next day,
like tomorrow or something.
Yeah. And from what I understand, the remaster did really well. So I'm wondering if they saw that and were like, because historically Metroid doesn't really sell amazingly. It sells well enough.
It sells okay.
Yeah,
it
but it's not like it's not a blowout,
it's not
kind
a Pokemon,
of a thing.
It's not a Zelda. It's not a Mario.
No. Yeah. So it's like, I'm wondering if they think that because it's like a shadow drop.
The iron is hot.
Yeah, it gets more attention kind of a thing where it's like, oh, it's out now? Fuck, I gotta go get it. One of those kind of things.
Which is exactly what I did when Metroid Prime Remastered was released. I was like, oh yeah, I should get that because I love that game.
I think I did too, if I remember correctly.
One of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah. So that's my theory. I think it is out very, very soon. But we'll see.
Counterpoint to that, and we'll talk about this a little more later, but Donkey Kong Bonanza also comes out really soon. Are they going to want to put 2 first-party games head to head?
That's a good point. I don't think they're going to wait until. So we're not going to talk about Donkey Kong. I know that there was a direct. I didn't watch it.
Oh, I did.
We can talk about it now if you want, because I didn't include it in our news article because I don't watch like the directs that are about a specific game because they're usually very spoilery, and I just don't really want to know.
Yeah,
most of the time,
it was kind of spoilery.
Yeah, not surprising. These just like the Grounded 2 deep dive that they did and the Outer Worlds 2 deep dive. I'm like, give me a trailer. That's all I need. I don't need you to tell me that whatever is in the game. Like I'm probably going to play it anyway, so I don't need to know.
Well, let me just say it looks really good. It looks really, really good. They showed off a bunch of stuff, a bunch of abilities that I don't think they'd showed off before. Like you can pick, like how you can pick out a chunk of rock. You can also surf on it, like shield surfing in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
like, and there was like, oh, if you get an ice block and surf on lava, it cools the lava into walkable rock.
Oh, that's cool.
That kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, this looks so good.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer and was like, oh yeah, I'm playing this.
I've never been like super hyped for a Donkey Kong game before, but here I'm like, yeah, this is probably, assuming Metroid Prime 4 doesn't come out tomorrow, this is probably going to be the game that motivates me to get a Switch 2 if I can afford it, which is still up in the air.
Yeah. I have zero intention of buying a Switch 2 until they release a Zelda game. And then I'll be like, okay.
Let me rephrase that. Donkey Kong Bonanza will be the first game I buy for the Switch 2 once I can afford one.
Oh, you won't get Zelda first?
Well, I don't think there's going to be a Zelda game. Well, I mean, unless you're talking about like the Switch 2 edition of...
No. I mean, like the next 3D Zelda.
if they haven't talked about it yet, I don't think it's any. I think it's far enough out that I won't want to wait that long for a
Oh,
Switch 2.
I see. Oh, I don't care. I'll wait that long because there'll be an OLED version by then, and I'll be like, I'll just get that.
I mean, maybe, but like Donkey Kong Bonanza and Metroid Prime 4 and all my Switch games working better because now that it's been out, people have seen that, they don't actually need a Switch 2 patch to run better because the way it works is I'm not sure if it's like full emulation or some kind of compatibility layer. I think it's probably a compatibility layer, but it basically runs in a sort of virtual Switch mode, but it can run faster than a stock Switch because it's a faster system, and you could just clock up the virtual CPU. So it's basically like overclocking these games. So games that targeted like 60 FPS but didn't really quite reach it, now they just hit 60 just fine. So
what does the upgrade pack do then?
The upgrade pack, I think, brings like higher resolution textures and stuff like that. And I think it might also like convert it to a native Switch 2 application. That's just speculation on my part.
Right.
But it is basically, hey, you're playing your Switch 1 games in Super Switch mode. So performance problems gone. Like
that's cool.
90% of the issues are gone. I've seen several games tested like that, and they all run great.
Zelda?
So, it targets 30, so it's not that much of an upgrade. It's a smoother 30 now.
Yeah, doesn't chug now.
Yeah, you will have to get the upgrade, the $10 upgrade to unlock 60 FPS, and like I think they're doing 4K as well.
And HDR.
And I know they are doing HDR, which admittedly would probably look really good with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
I watched the IGN review of Tears of the Kingdom, and they're like, what do they call the Underdark in that game?
Yeah.
There's a name for that area, but
I forget what it is.
The cave area.
Yeah.
They basically said that it looks like a completely different game.
Yeah, I bet.
Like it just looks like instead of just pitch black darkness, now you can actually see things
because it's not just solid black pixels. It's just
there's different shades.
It's just all in shadow. So if I took a screenshot of Tears of the Kingdom and I cranked up the brightness, you would be able to bring out details in that, but it would look like shit because I'm working within a standard dynamic range. But if you have a high dynamic range and you can bring out that detail while still keeping it dark, oh god, I bet it looks incredible.
Yeah they did. He put a comparison of a screenshot of his televisions, one playing the Switch version, and
because you can't do that in a YouTube video.
No,
because,
you can't.
I mean, well, YouTube does support HDR, but the HDR support is kind of wonky. You can't do it on mobile unless you're using the YouTube app, and unless you have an HDR screen, you will literally not be able to see the difference because your screen will not understand how to interpret the brightness information that comes along with an HDR signal. So a lot of times they do just kind of like screen image simulate it, or they film it to show like the contrast difference.
Yep.
Which is still not a perfect way of showing it for a variety of reasons, including the monitor limitations. But
it looked like night and day though. Like it was crazy.
It does give you kind of an idea of like, well, this is how crappy it looks when you record your TV with a video camera, but look at how less crappy it looks when I record this TV. And it's like, okay, and you can kind of extrapolate from there.
Yeah. Well, you will be getting a Switch 2 before me then. That is for sure.
Well, that's
no doubt. You will have to be our Switch 2 reviewer.
Yeah, it's just a question of when I'm going to have the money for that.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It is
a lot of money in America. It's even way more money.
God, I saw it was like with the Mario Kart bundle, and after tax, it was up to like 900 Canadian dollars.
Oh, fuck that. No,
yeah,
not doing it.
It's insane. I will need very compelling reasons to drop that kind of money.
Yes. Speaking of money, Borderlands 4.
Uh-oh.
What is that? Get out of there. I don't know why that error came up. Remember that whole Randy Pitchford?
What did Randy do this time?
Well, it's not what he did this time. Borderlands 4's price has been revealed.
Oh, here we go.
And it's not $80.
Oh, this could go one way or another, and I get the feeling it's going to be worse.
It's $70.
Oh, okay. I thought I thought you were gonna say it's gonna be $90.
No. Yeah. So I guess Borderlands 4 and Gearbox doesn't believe they have real fans.
Yeah, I guess Randy pissed people off for nothing. Great fucking job, Randy.
Remember or it was going to be 80.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Oh fuck, we can't do that now."
Yeah. Shut the fuck up, Randy.
Yeah, that was the title of that video.
That was the title of that video because
I couldn't not be.
It was the takeaway message of that episode. Shut the fuck up, Randy.
Yep.
Just stop talking. It's always when it comes to money. Remember when there was the employee equity, and he was like, "Well, if they don't like it, they're welcome to quit."
Yeah.
It's always when it's talking about money, he says stupid shit like that.
Sounds like Elon Musk, doesn't he?
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Randy.
Remember what did Elon do? He was like, advertisers were complaining about something, and he was like, "Well, fuck off then." And then they did, and he was like, "I'm suing you." Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
What a dumbass.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, Borderlands 4.
Just for full to be clear, Randy's not that dumb. Like I know
he's eccentric.
That's a nice way of putting it. We like to talk shit about Randy, but he loves a good joke. I mean, he owns the Duke Nukem franchise, for fuck's sake. I think he's a smarter man than Elon Musk. I just want to be like, not to defend Randy Pitchford, but let's not be cruel to the man.
No. But yeah, they did some first previews, Borderlands 4, and gotta tell you, man, I'm actually kind of excited for it. I was not excited for it, and now that I've seen gameplay, it's looking pretty good. I like the changes.
Are you excited for the system requirements? Well, what am I talking about? You got that new PC.
Well, that, and I'll be playing it on PlayStation, I'm sure.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it looks hefty. Great. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. No, I'll be playing on PlayStation or Xbox, probably PlayStation though. But it looks great. It looks really good, and they've toned down the fuckery in the game a little bit.
Claptrap.
No, he's still there.
Well, then I will not be playing it.
Yeah, no, he's a staple of the series. He's not going anywhere. But they've toned down the over the topness. Like 3 was over the top to the point where it kind of made people vomit. Yeah. And this one apparently is going a little bit more in the opposite direction, and the story is a little bit more serious and dark toned and stuff like that. So I'm really down for that kind of a tone difference. I'm very curious to see how this game ends up. I don't want to see any more of it at this point. I just want to see how it reviews and everything, because 3 didn't suck, but there was something wrong with it. It didn't feel right. What
they should do is they should get all the people who worked on Tales of the Borderlands, that Telltale game, and have them do all the writing, because those games are funny as shit.
Tales from the Borderlands was amazing. Yeah.
Like, I actually laughed my ass off at those. Like the fucking part where they got to do the retinal scan.
No,
it's like, oh, the dead guy in the thing. Oh, it's cryopreservation.
Yeah.
After they've torn out both of his eyes.
Yeah.
Oops.
I kind of wonder why that Tales of the Borderlands first season was never made into like a TV show. Seems like a good TV show.
It would have been better than the fucking movie they made.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it would have. But yeah, so Borderlands 4 coming out in September, $69.99 US. Cool beans.
Nice.
This next story is
nice for the number.
Nice for the number, yeah. This next one's a little strange. Fan favorite rhythm game, Beat Saber, is for some reason ending support for PlayStation. So from here on in, you shouldn't expect any further updates or music packs if you play on PS4 or PS5.
But it'll still work, right?
Yeah, they're just not. Like multiplayer support is being withdrawn.
They're not updating it anymore.
Yeah, and you can't download like the DLC for it anymore. It's gone. It's disappearing. It's going away.
Oh, are they delisting it?
Well, I'm not sure if they're delisting the game, but the music packs that you can download for the game, those are being delisted. Okay. I don't know if it's a licensing problem, maybe, but let's read the article here. So it says, from here on in, you shouldn't expect any further updates or music packs if you play PS4 or PS5's version of the game. And from January 21st to 2026, multiplayer support will also be withdrawn. Quote, as we look to the future and plan the next big leap for Beat Saber, we have made the decision to no longer release updates for PS4 and PS5 starting in June.
Weird.
So now. The developer explained in a new FAQ entitled End of Support for PS4, PS5. Our passion for VR remains unwavering. We are excited about the possibilities that lie ahead and what we can bring to Beat Saber fans who have been on this journey with us over the past 7 years. The update stressed that you will still be able to play Beat Saber and have access to all your previously purchased content, and cross-buy remains active between the PS4 and PS5 base game. You can also still buy songs and music packs that were released on or before June 18th, just nothing added to the catalog from today onwards. Okay, so that clears up a little bit. We're grateful for the incredible support you've shown us over the years, and we're excited to share what the future holds for Beat Saber, the update concluded. For many players, this feels very much like the final nail in the coffin for PlayStation's VR aspirations, as Beat Saber is still one of PlayStation's biggest VR titles. Fans seem split between laying the blame with Sony and the lack of support given to its VR headset, and Meta wanting their game to be the best on Quest. Absolutely baffling decision, said one player on the subreddit. Beat Saber still regularly tops the sales charts on PSVR 1 and 2. I think dropping support for PSVR VR 1 is understandable, but not supporting PSVR 2 feels like an absolutely insane move, given how popular the game is on that platform.
This is weird.
Well, here's the thing. Is digital sales on pretty much any platform, honestly, but specifically PlayStation's platform, is practically a joke. Because it doesn't tell you what the sales numbers are. It just tells you what sold best, in the top 10, right?
They don't disclose any of that. A lot of these companies.
So my guess is that while Beat Saber is usually the number one seller for VR, maybe it's still a really small number.
Yeah.
Like if the number one selling PSVR 2 game is selling 15 units, then maybe PSVR 2 is just looked at as dead by a lot of companies now. Because, I mean, the PSVR 2 has sold what? Let's see. PSVR 2.
I can't imagine it's too many.
No. Let's see. Estimated to be around 2 million.
That's considerably more than I expected.
So, out of all those 2 million people, how many could possibly be still purchasing Beat Saber for it at this point, 2+, 3+ years after it came out?
I mean, if every PSVR owner has Beat Saber, which they won't, but
no,
if it, I mean, 2 million for a niche product, that's not too bad. If you're the consistently bestseller there. I don't know. That's
it's just so ambiguous without the number.
Yeah, yeah. Who makes Beat Saber?
Beat Games.
Okay. Are they self-published or do they have a publisher?
The game was published by Czech Republic game developer Beat Games and was later obtained by Oculus. Okay, so Oculus owns them.
Oh.
That might be why.
This suddenly became a lot clearer.
Yeah, so they just want it as an exclusive on Quest, probably.
Yeah.
And they're probably getting ready to release Beat Saber 2, is my guess. And that's going to be a Quest 3 exclusive. How much you want to bet? Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Mystery solved.
Because Beat Saber's been out for a lot longer than the PSVR 2 has been out. It's been out. Let's see, when the PSVR 1 come out?
Also, it seems to be like one of the closest things that VR has to a killer app, because it seems to be the thing that everybody that has a VR headset plays, because they've all got Beat Saber. Yeah.
So Beat Saber 1 came out in 2018. So it makes sense that Beat Saber 2 is probably on the horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah. VR 2 is cool, man. It's so expensive that it's just, I mean, Quest 3 is not really all that expensive, honestly.
Yeah, but it's owned by fucking Facebook.
Yeah, having to have a Facebook account is really fucking stupid.
Well, yeah, and having them fucking spy on everything, because why wouldn't they? Like, why wouldn't they spy? Because it's more than just like metrics, like, oh, which games do you own? It's like, they're going to be looking at everything you do. So for all of you who use your VR headsets to watch porn, guess what? Mark Zuckerberg knows what you're into.
He's a strange dude.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the movie?
Oh, The Social Network?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
It's so good.
It was really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I've watched it like 5 times.
Yeah, it doesn't make me any more sympathetic to Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh no, not at all. It's just so it's such an amazing story of just backstabbing people and just bad people. You know? Just not nice people.
Every single person in that movie except Andrew Garfield's character.
Yeah, the guy that got completely fucked.
Yeah, he's like the only person in that story who is maybe defensible. Everybody else,
I think he's very defensible. I mean, what did he do wrong? He paid for everything and then got shafted.
Well, I don't know what he's done since.
No, I don't. Well, maybe we should look him up. Do you remember what his name is?
No.
But
like the Winklevoss twins are still dicks.
Eduardo Saverin.
Right.
Eduardo Saverin. Let's see, what's he up to these days? Let's see. He's a Brazilian billionaire entrepreneur and angel investor, known for having co-founded Facebook. In 2012, he owned 2% of Facebook shares, valued at $2 billion at the time. Based in Singapore, he is the co-founder and co-CEO of venture capital firm B Capital and has also invested in early-stage startups such as Quickie and Jumio. Saverin is the wealthiest Brazilianaire and an estimated net worth of $38.3 billion US as of June 2025. He is the 44th richest individual in the world.
So it sounds like he made out okay.
He's doing good.
Yeah.
He's doing good. Yeah.
He also doesn't sound like he's doing anything immediately obviously evil.
No, his Wikipedia page is actually pretty short.
Yeah. Maybe he stayed out of controversy.
Or he's very quiet about it.
Yeah, or the fucking Justin Timberlake's character, the Napster co-founder.
Oh, yeah.
Sean
Parker.
Sean Parker, right. I always forget if it's Sean Parker or Sean Fanning because they're both the guys behind Napster. Yeah, and then he
what's he up to now?
Didn't he get in trouble for like getting caught with an underage girl or something?
Yeah, and cocaine.
Yeah. So there's that. Also, he's a scumbag in that movie. He's absolute
scumbag.
He's the obvious villain in that movie, but yeah, like it just there was a line at the end of that movie where the woman I think she's like some kind of legal clerk for the deposition or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she says, "You're not an asshole. You're just trying to be." And
you're just trying to be.
I'm like, I see the point you're making, but no, I think he might actually just be an asshole.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah.
Like,
never actually met the man, so it's hard to say. But based on the movie, he was kind of an asshole.
Well, not just based on the movie, based on all the shit that he's done. If he wasn't an asshole then, he is now. But he seems. If there was any accuracy to that movie, no, he seems like he was kind of an asshole the way he treated his girlfriend and all that. Very, yeah.
Sean Parker's not doing too bad. He's the founder and chairman of Parker Foundation, which focuses on life science, global public health, and civic engagement. As of May 2025, his net worth is $3 billion.
Not bad for a guy who got to start building a music piracy platform.
Yeah. And then wormed his way into Facebook.
Yeah.
And then got kicked out of Facebook.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move forward here. Minecraft. Why do I keep getting this weird error? I don't like it. Minecraft was never designed with the visuals as its key selling point, but with an endless sandbox landscape and unlimited customization. Mojang's now familiar pixelated graphics were never the main focus. Today, however, that all changes with the launch of Minecraft's long-awaited vibrant visuals update on PC and a range of compatible consoles and smartphones. But not all platforms will get the upgrade, and the game's classic Java edition will also be left without this upgrade.
Are they still doing the Java version of that?
Yeah. Oh. I don't know why, but
I thought they moved on to C a long time ago.
Nope. You can when you go on Minecraft's website, you can choose between the two for whatever reason.
For anybody who doesn't understand the difference of that, Java is a language that used to be really huge, kind of still is, but more sort of behind the scenes. Java is a language that is interpreted through a virtual machine, so it's almost like an imaginary computer system that you just run through an emulator. Which is why Java can run on anything that has a Java virtual machine, and you only need to write it once. That's the attraction to Java. You want to run your software on Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever. If there's a Java virtual machine that can run that code, you can run that software. So it was very popular for web applications. You remember Java games?
Oh yeah,
remember how big those used to be?
massive.
Yeah. It's still used in a lot of places. All Blu-rays use Java, like all the menus and stuff in Blu-rays are all built on Java. And Marcus Persson, who is the original developer of Minecraft, is a Java guy. Like all of his stuff was always written in Java. But I'm
sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I just when you started talking about Java, I remembered. This will be a deep cut. I wonder if anyone out there will know what I'm talking about. Lenny Loosejocks?
No.
Okay. Google it sometime.
No.
I think it was a Java thing.
Yeah, what was that? It makes me think of fucking what was that Brendan Fraser movie, George of the Jungle, where he gets his first taste of coffee and he's like, "Duff, duff, 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 duff." Yeah, that's what it makes me think of.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, after Microsoft took over Mojang and started doing their thing, I guess they rebuilt the game with C, which is portable, but
that's
not,
the Bedrock edition.
Yeah, it's not universally executable and everything. Like it's not an well, if you want to get into old computers, there are C interpreters. That's beyond the scope of what we're talking about. I'm already getting into the weeds here, but
yeah. So the Java edition does not have this.
Yeah.
It's everything else. So if you're playing the Bedrock edition on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, certain Android and iOS devices, Vibrant Visuals is now available now as part of the game's wider Chase the Skies update. Which
so
includes,
is this like a fully ray traced thing going on here, or what is this? Because it kind of looks like it.
Yeah. So, what does it have specifics on here? Well, let's see. Chase the Skies adds rideable, happy gas creatures to the game's overworld following years of stress caused by their meaner cousins who spit fireballs in the nether. You can also now leash a chain of camels together to create a resource transporting caravan. That's cool. And track down your friends faster with the player locator HUD bar. If you play Minecraft on an older console such as PS4 or Xbox One, or if you play on an older Android phone, you'll need to manually switch on the Vibrant Visuals option via the game's video settings. Mojang warns that performance may degrade for these devices. And then it gives you a bunch of specs that are required, but it doesn't say... it doesn't say what the hardware requirements are. It just says PC. You need to have DX12.
Yeah, which any video card manufactured in the last 8 years is going to support.
There you go. Split screen multiplayer custom worlds and texture packs are not currently supported by Vibrant Visuals either.
Oh, that's probably a material system thing.
Well, so the Vibrant Visuals is not just ray tracing. They're doing, you can't really tell on this particular screenshot. I tried to find a better one, but the place where you really see the difference is in water.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, because you look at the grass here, and it just looks kind of uniform in the left side, but on the right side, you can see at different angles, the light kind of plays off it differently. That'd be a material system where it's another set of textures like diffuse, specular, normal maps, that kind of stuff. That's what a material system is. And that's also true for water. They have those for water surfaces and stuff.
They've also animated some of the 2D textures to react to the light. So like certain textures will like sparkle or like like it's hard to describe what a 2D animation looks like, but like it makes it look more vibrant.
Your hands together, like
I know. I'm just
sparkles.
like it's hard to describe.
No,
but
I know what you mean.
It's like a moving animation, basically, on a 2D plane. So like it looks more vibrant. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure if it's actual ray tracing or not, because if you go, so they've made the Minecraft version basically identical over all platforms at this point. So if you go into the options of Minecraft, they look the same on PC that they do on console. Basically, everything's the same. And there's one section where it has I don't know what the toggle is called, but it's got a drop down menu, and in those is normal vibrant visuals and then ray tracing mode. But ray tracing mode is blocked out. You can't click on it. It's been like that for like 5 years, ever since they did that that test. With ray tracing that they never released. That it's been in there locked. So it's like they just disabled it for some reason. But now they have this other option, vibrant visuals. It's like,
well, if it requires DirectX 12, it might be, because ray tracing is one of the things that DX12 does.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I don't know though, because that shouldn't be possible on PS4 or Xbox One. They don't support ray tracing. So
well, not hardware ray tracing. You can do ray tracing in software. It's considerably slower. Unless they simplify it.
And they did warn that performance may degrade on those devices. So,
what's that game? Teardown has software ray tracing, which looks better than no ray tracing, but doesn't look like
anywhere near as good as full.
You told me that you played Quake 2 RTX, and you know how good the ray tracing in that game looks now. Teardown doesn't look that good, but it looks better than not having it at all. Like the way that shadows are cast on things is realistic, but it just it doesn't have like the same bounce lighting, stuff like that. So you know.
But yeah, I've been waiting for this update for a long time, but they said they're going to continue to update it and tweak it. So I'm like, why is this so hard? Why like what's? They just take their time on everything. It's like, I want to get back into Minecraft, but I want it to be done. And it's never finished.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of the story of Minecraft. It was a clone of just a toy, really. Because, like, Infiniminer wasn't meant to be anything. It was just a toy. Like, what if we had a 3D block building game? That'd kind of be cool. And then a bunch of clones came out. Minecraft was one of them. And Mojang was just like, let's just keep going with this and see where it goes. And they're sort of, I don't know, whatever. It seems like it might be fun. Cool. Let's put it in the game. Turned into a $1 billion empire for them.
Yep. It's a great game. It's very fun. I wish they would add more story to it though. Because the original like mission of defeating the End Dragon is still there, but it's like unchanged.
Yeah, and there's a huge text crawl at the end of that's like, what does any of this even mean? Who are these people talking? What are they talking about? What does this have to do with anything? Yeah, I played Minecraft for a bit, like fucking 15 years ago or whatever, and I did that, and I think I beat the Ender Dragon and was like, okay, I think I've seen everything that this has to offer.
That's what I did too. Yeah. The rest of it's just creative, you know.
Yeah, and like that's why I've always thought of Minecraft as more of a toy than a game, because it doesn't. It can be a game. You can make games within it. You can make challenges and stuff, but it's closer to a box of Lego than it is like a Monopoly board. You know,
it really spawned a genre though, survival crafting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Rematch. So we talked about this one in Metacritic Check-In. This is the Sifu guys' soccer game. So the developer Slowclap has confirmed its game will not have crossplay at launch. Rematch is a 5v5 online multiplayer arcade soccer game played in the third-person perspective. Its recent beta was hugely popular, with 1.9 million people taking part across PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. The beta hit a concurrent player peak of 175,000 people across platforms, staying in the top 5 most Steam most played Steam games every day it was available.
More Steam. You remember Chow Yun-Fat in which one of the Pirates movies was that? The third one? More Steam.
More Steam.
I haven't thought about that movie in years.
It's not a great movie.
Yeah.
The first one, the best.
The first one's amazing, and then the rest
So
of them
good.
are kind of like it kind of trends downwards. I never saw the fourth or fifth one. I was like, okay.
Oh, don't. The fifth one is okay. The fourth one is god awful terrible. Don't even bother. But the fifth one's not bad. In a tweet, Slowclap said crossplay between Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox won't be available for rematch at launch. The game is available to play now, 3 days early for those who pay more for the Elite or Pro Edition, but the official release date is Thursday, June 19th, which was yesterday. However, crossplay is one of our top priorities for upcoming updates. We'll share an ETA as soon as possible. Stay tuned. But the lack of crossplay at launch for a competitive multiplayer game released in 2025 has come as a surprise to fans, some of whom have expressed disappointment. Well, that's a shame. Was hoping to play with friends on a different platform. Guess I'll just wait to buy it until they implement it then. Some who were planning on playing it via PC Game Pass were particularly disappointed by the news, given it means they cannot play with Steam players because of the lack of crossplay. What a joke. Ah, man, this is a bummer. Ruins the plans of me and my group playing until they add it.
Yeah, I can understand needing more time to iron that stuff out because like all the different companies' requirements are going to be different. But like for a game specifically like this, it does kind of seem like it would have been a priority.
Probably should have waited. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some are now saying they've refunded their pre-orders. Given Rematch is an online multiplayer game, you can see why some were looking forward to its release would be disappointed by the lack of crossplay. But Slowcap has said crossplay is a priority, so hopefully it's added to the game sooner rather than later. Mm-hmm. I think it'll recover. As long as they don't take 6 months to get that crossplay going.
Yeah.
You know, if they do, I don't know if anyone's
willing to
look back. When are we going to
do our Baldur's Gate crossplay?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That game is so long. Jesus. So good. So good, though. I do want to play it again because I think they've finally stopped updating it. I think they have one more update left, but I don't know if it's like substantial or anything like that.
Yeah, I think they've said that it's going to be like performance and such updates now rather than big refinements to the game.
Yeah, I do want to get to it. It's a great game. Get to it again, I should say. All right, next up. Witcher 4 news. So CD Projekt has explained why it's taken a console-first development approach for the hotly anticipated Witcher 4, having gone with a PC-first approach for its previous games. Earlier this month, CD Projekt revealed a stunning Witcher 4 tech demo, which we've kind of debunked. It's not really a Witcher 4 tech demo. It's a Unreal 5 tech demo with Witcher 4.
Featuring the Witcher 4.
Yeah. That's a much better way of putting it. The tech demo, captured on PS5 and running at 60 frames per second, follows Ciri as she explores the never-before-seen region of Kovir, I think I'm saying that right, in the midst of a monster contract. There's an incredible amount of detail in the tech demo with fluid animations on a level we've yet to see on the current generation of consoles. Ciri and her horse Kelpie have particularly impressive movement and interactions with each other, NPCs, and the game world as they make their way through the mountains of Kovir to the bustling port of Valdrest. At one point in the demo, CD Projekt upped the NPC count in the market scene to 300 individually animated characters. The showcase ended with a first look at Lan Exeter, the winter capital and a major port city in Kovir. Speaking to the tech experts at Digital Foundry following the demo reveal, CD Projekt Red's VP of Technology, Charles Tremblay, explained why the studio showed off the Witcher 4 tech demo running on PS5 first and before PC, saying it's going for a console-first development approach for the game. Quote, we always do PC and we push and then we try to scale down. But then we had so many problems in the past that we tried to say this time around we really want to be more console-first development.
Hold on a second. Let's clarify that. So many problems in the past means our console version of Cyberpunk was fucked.
Completely fucked. Yeah. That mention of having problems.
Just make sure that we're all on the same page here.
Oh, yeah. Well, the next sentence says that mention of having problems in the past is a nod to the disastrous launch of 2020 Cyberpunk 2077, which ran so poorly on consoles on release that Sony ended up pulling it from the PlayStation Store and offered refunds. Amid the furor, CD Projekt apologized to customers for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles ahead of launch, admitting, we should have paid more attention to making it play better on PS4 and Xbox One. No, you should have just not made a version. on PS4 and Xbox One. It
Yeah.
didn't need to be there. It was a
Yeah.
next-gen game.
Yeah.
They're still making that fucking mistake 5 years later. Not CD
is The
Projekt
Witcher
Red, but
4?
no,
Is
no,
The
no. I
Witcher...
meant
Oh.
I meant like everyone in the industry is still making fucking PS4
okay.
versions of games.
Because I was going to say, if this is coming out for PS4 and Xbox One, that's going to be a problem. No, they've learned.
No.
They've learned their lesson.
I hope so.
Yeah.
CJ Projekt spent years recovering from the game's technical issues, but has done so successfully to the point now where Cyberpunk 2077 is a massive hit, and was even successfully released on Nintendo Switch 2 as a launch title.
Yeah, all it took was a really popular anime adaptation and an expansion pack that delivers on everything the game was supposed to have at launch.
Yeah. Now with The Witcher 4 in development, but not due out until 2077 at the earliest, CD Projekt is clearly keen. What?
You said 2077.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You still have Cyberpunk on the brain.
Until 2027 at the earliest. CD Projekt is clearly keen to avoid making the same mistake. Later in the same interview, the global art director of CD Projekt Red talked in vague terms about the benefits of going with console first, then scaling up to platforms such as PC. We wanted to solve certain foundations. It's pretty logical when you think about it because it's easier to scale up than scale down. We knew that once we set up certain foundations, both visually and technically, there's room to scale up. Now, what that means is another question. Where we are,
You can do it. I believe in you.
We are CD Projekt Red. We always like to push PCs to the limit. It's just a creative process how to really use it. It goes on from there. It's a pretty long article, but I thought it was interesting that they've learned enough to the point where they're like, yeah, we're going to make it for the console first. And then, now they haven't specifically said if it's simultaneously releasing on PC.
I would imagine it would be.
I would hope so. Now, the big thing here is also 2027 is probably when the new consoles are going to be out. So is this going to be another case of it comes out on the next gen consoles and then we get a lesser version?
Well,
on
because
the old
we've seen how it runs on PlayStation.
That's true.
I'm a little more confident about that.
Yeah, if anything, maybe we'll get like a Switch 2 edition on the PS6 and the Xbox next. Whatever that ends up being called.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's a smart move. Like, I mean,
100%.
Just a little while ago, I was lamenting how PC ports used to be really bad, but also Xbox 360 and PS3 did not use the x86 architecture that's common to Windows PCs. So you'd have to rewrite the game for a completely different type of processor. Now that they're all on x86, starting with a console-focused development isn't really that bad of a thing. And I mean, he's right. Designing your game with the sort of the lowest end in mind and then scaling up is a thing that you can do, and it can work out quite well. Look at how that worked out in the PS2 days. Games were always spec'd so that they would definitely run on the PS2, and then they scaled up for the GameCube and especially for the Xbox releases. Like, have you look at the fucking difference between the Xbox versions of the Splinter Cell games and, well, even the other console, like even the GameCube version. The real-time shadows are not nearly as real-time on either of those.
Dude, back in those days, they would have separate reviews for each version of the game because they were so different. Like, that's crazy. You don't see that anymore.
No.
They're nearly identical on consoles.
Yeah, that died after the 360 and the PS3 because at that point it was basically like for like, pretty much. I mean, there were some this is getting technical again. There were like memory bandwidth differences between the PS4 and the Xbox One because the Xbox One had. It was either DDR3 or DDR4 RAM, and the PS4 had either DDR4 or DDR5. Whatever the more recent iteration of DDR RAM was, is what the PS4 had. So, like, the memory access speeds and bandwidth and all that was faster. So, PS4 games generally were able to take advantage of that. And that usually manifested as, like, the PS4 versions ran at 1080p and the Xbox One versions ran at 900p.
Yep.
So, but other than that, it was like, and maybe sometimes some color grading differences. Sometimes a game would look like a little bit more greener on one and a little bit more bluer on the other or something like that. But like other than that, it's pretty much like for like. So, but yeah, it was like that a lot too during the N64 PlayStation era because like
Yep.
the difference was massive there as well.
Yep. All right. This next one, I don't know if you've seen. Did you see the trailer for this game?
I saw that this was a game that got announced and nothing else.
So I can put up the trailer if you want.
Sure.
Uno momento. Please pause while we readjust our view screen.
They've already pressed pause.
Oh, touche.
That's what we tell them to do at the beginning of every show. If they press pause again, they're gonna resume.
Don't press pause twice. That's just hard to do. All right. So I play this footage in the back. So this is a new game from NetEase that is blowing people's minds. I don't think it's like the second coming or anything like that, but it does look very good. So this is a linear action adventure game, not akin or not indifferent to Uncharted or like the latest Tomb Raider games, and it looks pretty gorgeous, I gotta say. And it kind of came out of nowhere. They just like shadow dropped this trailer. I think it was exclusively debuted by IGN.
Yeah, that's where I saw the announcement.
And it looks really good. The trailer is dubbed, or not dubbed. It's subbed. It's in another language.
Well, I mean, it looks like a game that's set in like I don't know.
China.
I don't know if I want to say ancient China, but
it takes place in 835 AD, something like that.
Yeah, okay, so like the Warring States period.
Yeah, but like visually, it just looks so good.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. Mm-hmm. And it does evoke Uncharted.
Oh, sure.
In terms of its like
action,
even the Indiana Jones
movement is very Uncharted.
But like, it's just one of those games that kind of came out of nowhere. And NetEase, I'm not. What is NetEase known for?
They do a lot of mobile games because that's a big market in China.
Let's see, they have a list here.
I believe they were.
They did Fragpunk. Or they published it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, Once Human, the other online game.
Yeah, they've moved into publishing a lot of stuff as well, but they're I believe primarily known for their mobile game development and mobile.
Naraka, Blade Point, Lord of the Rings: Rise to War, Marvel Duel. Oh yeah, a lot of mobile stuff in here. Eve Echoes, something in the Eve universe. Yeah. So it's, I don't want to say they're unproven in the console space, but this looks kind of above, like you know what I'm saying? Like they're aiming higher than
mobile,
than they should. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just kind of out of nowhere. Like this looks so good.
Yeah.
It's a really long trailer too.
Yeah.
I kind of skipped 80, not I would say 80%, like 50% of it because I was just like, okay.
Oh, that shot looks like Shenhua in the opening of Shenmue. Remember that where she's running around and she's like, and he will come from across the sea, blah blah blah. I was like, oh yeah, that kind of reminds. I mean, she was Chinese, so kind of makes sense that it would resemble.
It's true. Yeah. So I don't really have any specific news about this. It just that it was revealed,
it just looks neat. Yeah.
I don't quite understand why it wasn't at any of the Summer of Gaming showcases.
I mean, you'd think so, but maybe they wanted to have just their own time in the spotlight instead of sharing it with 500 other games.
That's definitely a possibility.
Because it's now caught my attention instead of being like lost amongst tons of other games. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Instead of, oh yeah, this looks like a dozen other things I saw.
Yeah.
So
like it looks impressive as hell. I just hope it's not a bullshot. That's my only real concern right now.
Yeah, there's no disclosure as to whether this is
it's gameplay
pre-rendered or in-engine or what. So
the trailer also does not have a NetEase logo anywhere. I had to look up who was making it, which I thought was a little strange.
Yeah, so it remains to be seen, but like, and I have no reason to think that a game couldn't look like this. There are plenty of
no,
games
it
that look
looks
this
great.
good, so
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, we've slowly moved away from the bullshot
Yeah,
way of
we don't really
trailers.
need to do them anymore
We
because
don't really need to do CGI trailers anymore, but they still
yeah,
fucking do those for some
well, yeah.
stupid reason. Hate it.
Yeah. Well, that's usually more of a thing of like it's way too early and we don't have all those assets
So
finished,
don't announce it.
or we haven't settled on a design yet, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shareholders want to have the word out there and get the hype and
Oh,
increase the stock value.
shareholders.
Yeah.
Thanks, shareholders, for ruining gaming.
Mhm. And every
Yeah.
other industry.
Yeah, it also doesn't have a release date or what specific consoles. So
Yeah.
that's also a question as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting thing to have shown. All right. Now I have to switch back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay. All right, sir. I don't know if you saw this one because it was only announced today. Nope, that's not the one. Well, I'll talk about this while it's here.
Sure.
It was in the wrong order. Sure.
Yeah.
Stellar Blade has hit 3 million units sold.
Mm-hmm.
Another milestone hit. Again,
one of the people who worked on the game was talking about how they want to do a sequel with better story.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't mean to be like stating the obvious here, but like when the protagonist of your game,
the game was sold on you get to control a sexy lady with skin.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this game did not sell well because it has good story or bad story. It's sold because it's got a sexy lady in it, and people are weird.
I mean, it's not weird to like a sexy lady, but I know what you mean. It should not be the driving force behind your sales.
Yeah, why is it a selling point? I just like, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Selling points from here is the game fun.
Yeah.
But
and the game, from what I've heard, is fine. It's just that.
Yeah, it's a Devil May Cry like. It's it's fine. I played the demo and it just wasn't for me. But obviously it was for 3 million other people. So happy for them. And congrats to who made that game?
Oh, it was a South Korean studio.
Who made Stellar?
I believe.
Shift Up.
Right.
South Korean video game developer and publisher. Self-published. So yeah, congrats to Shift Up. Good luck on a sequel. All right, let's see if this next one is the one I was talking about. Yes, it is. Did you hear about this news?
I was actually gonna ask if you had heard about this.
Broke today. Yeah, Netflix's Castlevania and Devil May Cry showrunner, I don't know how you say his name, Adi Shankar, has turned his attention to the Duke Nukem series after acquiring the screen rights from Gearbox Software. So we're going to get a Netflix Duke Nukem animation of some kind.
10 years or fucking however long it takes.
Yeah.
Considering how long ago they announced the Devil May Cry one. You want my take on this?
Yeah.
After the Devil May Cry show was kind of
Castlevania was good though.
Castlevania was really good, but Devil May Cry was not. Devil May Cry was.
It's doing well though. It's got a second season.
But
some people are liking it.
Well, Devil May Cry fans are not liking it.
No, I think it's more. I think it's more appealing to people who don't play the games, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, but it's not necessarily a good thing either.
No.
You don't want to piss off your core fans because they will be your biggest evangelists.
Yeah.
But
I don't. Here's the thing, though: is I don't think Duke Nukem has any fans anymore.
Well,
like he. I'm very like. How does Duke Nukem fit in 2025 without being horrendously offensive? That is my question to the showrunners that are going to be making this thing. How do you make Duke Nukem not fucking offensive as hell?
Well,
do you just double dive onto that shit and just go down that road, just be as offensive as possible?
The thing about Duke Nukem is that he's a joke. He is a satirical character. He is a pastiche of all the ultra macho 80s
Yeah,
action movie characters. Like you look at him and he looks like a combination of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dolph Lundgren,
yeah, and
right?
Sylvester Stallone and like all those kind of like macho, big muscles,
Yeah,
dudes.
like
Yeah, he's a dude, bro.
he is throw all of those into a blender and then just
Mhm.
have him quote all of those movies.
Hail
Like,
to the king, baby.
yeah, fucking it's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum and I'm
And
all
I'm
out of
all to
gum.
come.
Yeah, just pulling straight from They Live, which is a great fucking movie, by the way.
Yeah, that's good.
Love that
Roddy
movie.
Piper.
Roddy Piper, rest in peace, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like there is a way to do this character. There's absolutely a way to do this character. Um, it is not the way that Duke Nukem Forever ultimately did it. Because
No.
Duke Nukem Forever took two different approaches and fucked up both of them.
Yeah.
So the two different approaches that Duke Nukem Forever, like the finished game that actually came out, took were number one, everybody fucking loves Duke Nukem, which would make a lot of sense in a like immediately post Duke Nukem 3D world, because at that point everybody did love Duke Nukem because Duke Nukem 3D was fucking great. Keep that in mind for the immediate future. That might come up again soon, maybe. We'll see. We have plans, sort of. They're tentative. Um, but yeah, Duke Nukem 3D was a huge hit. It was super successful. It was a lot of people's first introduction to Duke Nukem, not mine. I played the original side-scrolling Duke Nukem. I played the crap out of that game. And Duke Nukem 2. I didn't play it as much, but I played it. I liked it. And so Duke Nukem 3 came out and I was like, "Oh, it's 3D. Makes sense and it's a great game in the wake of Doom. It does all this stuff. It's super interactive. It's really groundbreaking. It helps move the genre forward. Awesome. Duke Nukem was the man." And then it just took them fucking forever to get Forever out. And there were a bunch of titles that came out in the meantime to try and keep people interested, but none of them were amazing. Like there's some console ports of Duke Nukem 3D that are like okay, but they're not really as good as the PC version. The N64 version's kind of okay, but it doesn't have music, which sucks.
That's the one I
Um,
played.
yeah, it looks good. Like it
Mm-hmm.
looks cool. It's got like upgraded graphics and some new weapons. That's fine. Um, but it doesn't have the music, which sucks because the music in Duke Nukem 3D is great. And then there were those. There was like a Tomb Raider style game on the PS1.
Oh,
Um,
I don't remember that at all.
yeah, it was like a third person shooter. But then there was
Oof.
also another third person shooter on the N64. That one's a little bit better, but it's it, it's it's not Duke Nukem 3D good. There's Duke Nukem Manhattan Project, which is a side scroller like the old games, and it's okay, but it's not Duke Nukem 3D good. Like it never became like it never surpassed Duke Nukem 3D, right?
Mm.
And Duke Nukem Forever became this huge joke, and it came out and it fell flat on its face with how like laughably outdated its gimmicks were. Um, and when you have people fawning over Duke Nukem in the game as if he's the hottest shit imaginable, it's like that only makes sense if he doesn't feel like a huge fucking has been, which is kind of what the franchise had been
Mm.
sort of since Duke Nukem 3D came out, because it never got that good again. But then the other angle is that you have the president of the United States in that game, who's like the only person in the game saying, "Duke, stay the fuck out of this. You're pissing off the aliens. You're making shit worse." And Duke's just like, his response to that is, "Okay, I'm going to go kill more aliens," which, like, on the one hand, like kind of makes sense. Duke does kind of run in and do stupid shit without thinking about it, but then the game frames it as though the president is the idiot when
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "Duke, no, you're making things worse." Like it's so
It was a confusing mess of a game for
it was
sure.
a confusing mess of the game with two different tones that were both done really badly.
Mm.
But there is a good way to do that. There is a good way to do Duke Nukem. I'm not sure that Adi Shankar is the person to do that.
He did
May,
describe his vision for Duke Nukem. I don't know
Yeah,
if
and
you read this.
I read that. I read the whole fucking thing. I just,
Well,
but
here, let me read it for
sure,
the
go ahead.
show.
Go ahead.
He said it's a middle finger to everybody. When Duke Nukem blew up, a bunch of people sat around trying to turn it into a brand when it's just a middle finger. Duke Nukem can't be made by a corporation because the moment a corporation makes Duke Nukem, it's no longer Duke Nukem.
Yeah, so
I,
have Netflix do it. You know, this massive corporation.
yeah, I don't intend on having anyone tell me what to do on this one.
Yeah.
So
So,
we also don't know if it's a TV show, a movie, or even if it's animated. We don't know. He hasn't
oh,
said
dude,
anything.
they've been threatening to make a Duke Nukem movie for like over 20 years. It keeps
Well,
not
he has
happening.
the rights now.
Yeah, he has the rights, but that doesn't mean it's gonna fucking happen.
No.
Um,
Watch, he makes it just so offensive that Netflix looks at it in the first screening and is like,
yeah, see, it
"You're
can't be
fired."
that. It has to be satirical. You know,
Yeah.
like the thing is, we you cannot put Duke Nukem on a pedestal and say this is the kind of person you should aspire to be. Duke Nukem is a parody of all these 80s meatheads. However, he is a force for good. He does save the world, you know. He does save the chicks. Nobody steals our chicks and lives, you know? Like that's his whole
That was
thing.
pretty good.
That's
That
his
was
whole
pretty good. He
thing.
lives. That
Yeah.
was good.
So like there's a line. It is a fine line. It is doable. You can have a Duke Nukem who is a laughably out of date, like just chauvinistic, well, not even necessarily chauvinistic, just this really unhealthy idea of masculinity, but also be a force for good. There's so to pull commentary from someone else. Civi11, YouTuber who I'm a big fan of, does lots of shooter games, you know, typically boomer shooters. When the Duke Nukem Forever 2001 version leak happened, he did a video on that, and he talked about how it was a better game than the one that ultimately got released for a variety of reasons. But at one point, he brought up the way that Duke is portrayed, the way that, you know, just the characterization of Duke in the setting, and he said that uh, Duke Nukem, you know, for all of his issues, is a lighter character than the world he inhabits. You know, a world of strip clubs and prostitutes and all that stuff. And he is a you know, he is a meathead, but he is also not a bad person. He is a force for good, like I said, in this world. And that is such a it's such a difficult thing to capture, because how do you get this character who you are, you know, saying is, look at this fucking idiot, look at this steroid brained moron, but also get people to root for him and not hate him? Like how do you make him a hero to people without making him a figure that they should want to emulate? That's the line you
Yeah.
need to be able to walk.
It's very
And
difficult.
like it's so hard to do. You
Yep.
know, it's not impossible, but you got to find the right people to do it. I don't think Adi Shankar is the right person to do it. I would love to be proven wrong again,
Yep.
but
Time
you
will
know,
tell.
after seeing the Devil May Cry show and how that is, like, if it's done like the Devil May Cry show, it's not going to be a good adaptation of Duke Nukem. I can't say how good exactly the Devil May Cry show is because I'm not like hugely in Devil May Cry, but I really like Duke Nukem, or at least I did back when you know, his games were good. And I will be able to, and I can tell you, if it's done the same way the Devil May Cry show is done, it's not going to be good. You can't just bring out Duke Nukem and have him, you know, do all the one-liners and be like, oh, awesome.
Yeah.
It's got to be like Stephen Colbert. Remember when Stephen Colbert was like doing a parody of like right-wing news anchors like
Yeah.
Bill
So he
O'Reilly
wasn't
and stuff?
himself. He
Yeah, he
was
wasn't
like,
himself. He was
yeah.
playing a character, and
Yeah.
he was a character that was making fun of these morons, but he was also an endearing character.
hmm Which is
Duke
why he got
Nukem,
his own show.
yeah, Duke Nukem has to be like the '80s musclehead version of that. Instead of
Yeah.
like Bill O'Reilly, he has to be The
Oof, Bill O'Reilly. Ugh.
Yeah, he has to be like the musclehead version of the Stephen Colbert style of satire. Like
Yep.
he not do not emulate this person, but you can find him endearing.
Do you watch Stephen Colbert?
I haven't watched him since he started just doing like as himself because
Oh,
that to me was the fun part because then it's like,
okay.
it's just another late night show. You know,
I watch his monologue every week, or every day.
I liked it when he was doing the character, but I also understand why he stopped doing that because like it's become really, really hard to be any more absurd than
Mhm.
the right wing pundits are. Also, I'm sure CBS, it is CBS, right? The network he's on? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm sure
I don't know.
CBS gave him a huge sack of money, way more
Oh
than
yeah.
Comedy Central could ever afford.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love him. He's a cool dude, and he's very funny. All right, Warner Brothers. This isn't like huge news, but I thought it was at least worth talking about. Now, this is what connects to something we were talking about earlier, but I can't remember what it was now because I'm an idiot and I didn't write it down.
Fuck.
Remember, there was a game I was talking about, and I was
do, and I don't remember either because you were like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll bring it up."
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it
Was it during Metacritic?
I think so.
Because we talked. What did we talk about in Metacritic? We talked about Rematch. We talked about Lost in Random, FBC Firebreak, Gex Trilogy, and The Alters. But I don't think any of those were from Warner Brothers.
Oh
were they?
fuck! Oh no! We're gonna have to do this for next week's show.
Yeah, this will be a correction for next week's show. But yeah, there was a studio that. I'm just gonna look that up. Now I'll know it when I see it. Studios under Warner Brothers Games. There's got to be a list.
I'm just gonna do an idle dance here that nobody can see because I'm not on camera.
No, it's none of those. Ooh, subsidiaries and divisions. Studios. Here we go. Avalanche, NetherRealm, Rocksteady, TT, WB Games, WB Games, WB Games, WB Games. This is not one of them. What the hell were we talking about?
Oh no!
Shit. God, that's gonna drive me absolutely nuts.
When you're doing the editing for this, you'll be like, "Oh fuck!" Now I remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't see a company in here. Maybe they're not owned by.
Let's just talk about it. Maybe it'll come back to you while we're talking about it.
Yeah. Well, probably not because basically Warner Brothers Games is restructuring.
Yeah.
So its interactive entertainment endeavors are being sort of divided up into focuses on their 4 key franchises, which they've talked about before: Mortal Kombat, Harry Potter, DC, and Game of Thrones. Details on the company-wide overhaul come from Variety, which says the changes involve a leadership shakeup but will not result in any layoffs or exit of any executives.
Wow, fucking shocker.
Yeah. Instead, 3 key
actual shocker.
No, legit. Once. Yeah, it's good. Instead, 3 key Warner Brothers Games names have been promoted as the gaming branch shifts its focus to its more reliable brands. Warner Brothers Games Montreal studio head Yves Lachance, probably Yves Lachance, now serves as Senior Vice President Development and will watch over games based on the Harry Potter and Game of Thrones franchises. Meanwhile, NetherRealm Studios' Sean Emmerich is taking on the Senior Vice President Development role to maintain the company's Mortal Kombat and DC Universe efforts. And finally, Warner Brothers Games New York's. It's like there's one of the studios. Stephen Flannery has been promoted to Senior Vice President, Central Tech and Services, and will manage game and publishing technology, customer service, quality assurance, and user research. So they're basically dividing and conquering. Instead of having everything under one umbrella, they're sort of having more people oversee it, which hopefully will result in a faster turnaround time for the game releases and just better game quality in general.
Yeah, not canceling a massive game after you've dumped $100 million into it.
Yeah, multiverses.
No, Wonder Woman.
Oh, and Wonder Woman.
But it's super horrible that you weren't immediately sure of what I was talking about.
There's also Suicide Squad.
it's almost like they have a problem with shutting down games.
It's almost like it. Yeah. But yeah, there was whatever we were talking about earlier, I realized was a studio at Warner Brothers. And I was like, oh, uh-oh, they might be in some trouble. So I don't know who it was because it doesn't seem like they own them. So maybe they're not in trouble. Maybe they were just publishing for them.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'll correct that on next week's episode. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Capcom in the news. They've announced a Spotlight digital event for next week.
Oh, I haven't heard about that.
Yep. So they're going to showcase Resident Evil 9, Pragmata, more Monster Hunter Wilds information, and more Street Fighter 6 information. The live stream starts at, for some reason they have this in UK time. I don't understand why that is. 3 p.m. Pacific. There we go. 3 p.m. Pacific on Thursday, June 26th. And the showcase is expected to last about 40 minutes.
So that's like
10 minutes
for
per
us,
game.
right?
3 p.m. Pacific? No. 3 p.m. Pacific would be like 6 o'clock here. 6 p.m.
Pacific Standard Time?
Yeah, Pacific Standard Time is 3 hours behind us. So it'd be 6 p.m. Eastern.
Right. Sorry. 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Capcom says to expect the latest news on the company's upcoming games, as well as interviews with developers. Specifically, Monster Hunter Wild fans will get details on Title Update 2, which is set to release at the end of June. Capcom announced Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 9, during Summer Game Fest earlier this month with an eye-catching trailer. IGN went hands-on with Resident Evil Requiem, which lets you play in either first or third person, and there's a new protagonist, Grace Ashcroft.
Oh, there was a playable for them to check out? Okay, I didn't know about that.
It was like, I think it was like a behind closed doors demo because there was no actual previews posted.
Of course.
Although fans think we'll also get to play as Leon Kennedy in addition to Grace Ashcroft. Pragmata, meanwhile, reemerged at Sony's State of Play showcase with a new release date, trailer, and information of what the game actually is. And Street Fighter 6 also turned up at SGF to reveal its Year 3 roster of playable
Not
DLC
to spoil
characters.
anything, but there was something in that DK Bonanza trailer that was very Pragmata-esque.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Someone on DK's back,
I'm
assuming, is what you mean? Cool. Yeah, so, we'll have more details on the Capcom showcase on our next episode. Cool.
Yep.
And finally, Xbox Game Pass update, which I always leave for last for whatever reason. Probably because it's a light thing to go out on.
Yeah.
So the following games are joining Xbox Live. Rematch, out now for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. Volcano Princess, out on June 24th on Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. Apparently this is a really good game. It has overwhelmingly positive Steam reviews.
I've never heard of it.
It's a game where you raise your princess daughter from childhood to
Oh, it's Princess Maker. That was a game from the 90s. You did exactly that.
Yeah, and but I think it's got all these detailed systems and there's a war and
it's like Monster Rancher except a little girl instead of a monster that you get from spinning a CD in your PlayStation.
Yeah, I tried to get screenshots for these games but as soon as I saw Volcano Princess, I was like, none of these screenshots are going to do this game justice. It's too complicated. So but it's coming to Game Pass, which means I'll at least play it and see if it's up my alley. So I'll talk about it at some point. Against the Storm, coming out June 26th, Game Pass Ultimate. I've been waiting for this game for a very long time. It's been in early access on Steam for a long time, so I'm actually kind of eager to check it out. I think it's been out of early access for a little bit now, but the console version has just been.
So let me ask a question. Did that character have to skin a pterodactyl to get that hood? What the fuck is going on there? Why is it so long and firm?
Yeah, this isn't a great so the game is not even a third-person action game or anything like that. It's like a city builder roguelite or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. It does look like very Assassin's Creed-y. It's like Assassin's Creed on crack. Warcraft 1 2 and 3 remastered, all coming to PC Game Pass.
Great.
So, yeah, for those of you who want those games in their remastered form. Call of Duty World War II, coming to Game Pass Ultimate, PC, Game Pass Standard, all of them. Which is kind of an odd one, because they've released Black Ops 6 and Modern Warfare 3, and then they've just skipped over everything all the way back to World War II. Like, World War II was not the previous game before Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, I can't keep track of them all.
I don't know what like why are they just not all on it on Game Pass? Why are they piecemealing these things out in no particular order? It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Little Nightmares 1 and 2 coming to Game Pass. Again, I don't know why that error keeps coming up. Thanks a lot, Windows. Great games. Highly recommend. Play Little Nightmares. And Rise of the Tomb Raider, which was originally an Xbox exclusive, is coming to Game Pass. This was the second game in the new Tomb Raider trilogy.
Oh, is that not on PlayStation?
No, it is. It was a timed exclusive for a year on Xbox. Yeah, originally a one-time exclusive. Yeah, there was Tomb Raider, and then Rise of the Tomb Raider was exclusive to Xbox for a year.
Tomb Raider has just been shopped around everywhere. Like, it was originally a Saturn game. Yeah. And then it became a defining title for the PlayStation. And then it's an exclusive or timed exclusive for the Xbox. Like, wow.
Yeah. After it was a multi-platform game for the first reboot game. Mm-hmm. It got bounced around. And then Shadow of the Tomb Raider was the third one, and it was everywhere. So, I don't know. Very, very confusing. And then leaving Xbox Game Pass on June 30th, Arcade Paradise, Journey to the Savage Planet, My Friend Peppa Pig.
Oh no! I missed my chance.
Yeah.
Did you know in that game there's Peppa a fucking Pig. You get fucking hype. There's a level or something where you interact with Queen Elizabeth.
What?
And then when you finish it, a message comes up and says, in memory of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
What
the fuck? Peppa Pig game.
I don't even know what to say about that. That is fucking weird.
Dude, Ray Narvaez Jr. did that game on Twitch. He is the best fucking. He's got it as a Twitter. Fuck me. He's got it as a YouTube short. It's the funniest fucking reaction. He just loses his mind when he sees that.
My Friend Peppa Pig. Oh boy. Robin Hood Sherwood Builders is also leaving.
Sherbert Builders, delicious.
Sherbert Builders. And SteamWorld Dig and Dig 2 are also leaving. So those are great games too, by the way. So, pretty decent.
They should bring The Dig to Game Pass. Check that one off the bingo card. Remaster
it just like Full Throttle.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, can you imagine?
I'd love a remaster.
Oh, that would look so good.
Yeah.
The game is beautiful.
Yeah. Fucking confusing as fuck. I gave up on it eventually. I was just like, I shouldn't need a guide to play this game. It's too confusing.
Yeah, like when you're using a walkthrough to play a game that's about like puzzles and not like where the fuck do I go next? It's like, what's even the point of playing? Yeah, the same thing happened to me. Really good game, but I lost the thread of it. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Where
I just got tired of following a guide. I'm like,
at this point, I would have to just start the game over because I don't remember what I was doing or where I was. Same.
Yeah,
but
I gave up.
Gorgeous game.
Yep, absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the news. Which you know what that means?
Screenshot scope.
Screenshot scope time.
Oh man, we've been at it for a while.
Yeah, it's a long episode.
A lot of news this week.
Yeah.
And we only talked briefly about the DK thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what?
I don't know what. I'm not even looking at it yet because my computer's being a dick. There we go.
Does that say the moon patrolled by armed guards?
No, 24. 24. I don't know what the second word is, but that's definitely a 2 and a 4. 24 something. I think the bottom word is welcome.
Oh, no, it says security.
Down at the bottom. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Security. Maybe it's 24. I don't know what that second word is. It looks like NOOR or NDDR. 24 something security. 24 noon security, maybe?
Maybe. So, based on the visual style, my first guess is State of Decay.
Okay. I don't have anything, so I'll go with it. Nope. 80% though. Ooh, that's a pretty detailed world.
My next guess is Wolfenstein.
This?
The new Colossus?
Did you go back in time before the war?
No, there in the new Colossus there's a part where you're in America.
Oh, I didn't know.
And you're just on the streets.
No?
Okay.
PC PS. Whoa. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Watch Dogs.
Oh. That's right. There was a Wii U version of it, wasn't there?
I can't believe that. That's crazy. No, the only thing that gave it away for me was driving and his coat.
Oh, right, because he's got
that classic coat brown coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs 2 is better.
It is better. Watch Dogs 1 is underrated though. It's good. It's a little vanilla GTA in terms of its. Yeah, exactly. 2 has got way more style, and then 3 is just fucking bad. It's just a bad game. Okay.
Whoa. I feel like if I'd played this game, I'd recognize it immediately.
I feel like it's tilted. Like this looks like the ground.
Yeah.
But they don't normally do that.
But I still don't. Well, maybe the character is like spinning around when they took the screenshot.
Maybe or the this is no. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know
some kind of game where you shift gravity or something. I don't know, but I don't recognize this from this picture.
Maybe it's Gravity Rush.
Maybe. I never played Gravity Rush.
I don't think so, but no. What the hell?
Yeah, I still don't know what this is.
Oh.
Again, it's skewed, but he looks like he got like a tower sticking out of something there.
It might be Jusant. That game that I talk about all the time, the climbing game.
All right.
I'd be surprised if it was an 85% on Metacritic.
Well,
though.
try it.
I really liked it, but
yeah, no need to justify it. Go and try it. Hey, wow. There you go.
Yeah, this game was good. Yeah, this is the one I was telling you with the triggers.
Yeah,
where you have to. Each trigger is one arm.
Yeah.
So you can't let go. And that green bar there is your strength meter, kind of like in Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Man, that game was good. Now I want to replay it. Because I really, oh, wow. Whoa. That was a tricky move. Look at that. He used his, what do you call that thing? Rope and pitton to make a swing. It's a smart move. Man, that game was good. I recommend playing that game. It really makes me want to play Karen, though. Which is still months away. All right. Oof. Well, it's ugly.
It's on the ground.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. Not from this.
Just Cause, sure.
I don't think Just Cause looks that good. Although that is about the rating I'd expect for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is still not. I don't know.
Could be Kill Switch.
Isn't that a PS2 game?
It's a good question. I don't know. I'm just thinking about like not great cover shooters. Because I don't have any. It was Kill.Switch, right?
Sure. Yeah. You know there was a GBA version of Kill Switch?
Ooh. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can't be good.
Can't be good. Well, no, it's technically kind of impressive, but it's not very fun to play.
Is this a Terminator game? Looks like Terminator.
Is there a Terminator game on the PS3 and 360?
I feel like there was.
Maybe. Well,
Well, let's
try
do
typing in the name and see what we get.
Salvation.
Oh, there was a Terminator Salvation game, wasn't there?
Dawn of Fate.
Maybe that's it, because that would have been the right era.
Salvation.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
It's not a Terminator game. Oh wow, that. Oh. Oh, that looks so familiar. Oh, what is this? This looks so fucking familiar.
Yeah, I don't know.
What the hell is this? This interface looks like something I played the shit out of.
Shadow
I don't know,
Complex,
though.
maybe?
Shadow Complex, do you say?
Yeah, it doesn't really look like Shadow Complex, though.
No, it looks like a... Well, no, it's a third-person shooter.
No, that's true.
I don't know. I'm gonna say skip. I feel like it's gonna give... I'm gonna get it, though. I feel like I'm gonna get it. I need something.
All right.
2012. So just on the verge of PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, was this Quantum Theory, was it called? Quantum... I think it was Quantum Theory.
Quantum Break?
No. Quantum Theory. Yeah, it was the Gears of War ripoff game.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Oh, fuck. Oh, it's a fucking Yakuza. Oh, is this Vanquish?
No, Vanquish was made by Platinum.
Who the hell? This is the Yakuza team.
But it does have the Vanquish slide. Yeah, you're totally right about that.
What the hell?
Yeah, what did...
I see names at the bottom. Big Bow? I know I've seen this. I've seen this and I've played it. What the fuck is this? Oh, this is gonna drive me. Oh, look! Escape the seawall by sliding down. This looks so familiar. I'm gonna. This is if we don't get this, I'm gonna. I know I'm gonna know it when the name is revealed. It's not Vanquish though. I don't think I've ever played a game from that studio before, besides Yakuza. Unless, oh god, are we giving up? Because I don't know.
I have no idea what it is.
Please don't be something I know. Please. Yes, it is. Fuck, I know that. I knew it.
Oh,
I knew I was gonna know it.
Binary Domain. I never played that. I completely forgot that.
It's not a great game.
Yeah.
It's not a great game. It's a 6 or 7. But it's. I knew I played it though.
I just remember the name and I never knew anything about it other than it was like
Quantum
a
Theory was
game.
the other one that was very similar to a Gears type game. Oh god.
Well, there's no way I would have gotten to that. So
okay, I could have. Oh.
Metal
Gear Solid 5, isn't it? Where he's sneaking through the hospital at the beginning.
I think the hospital looks cleaner than that, but you can try it.
Oh, you're right. It could be Outlast.
Could be Outlast. It's kind of giving me Condemned vibes, but I don't think it's Condemned.
No, it looks too good, I think.
Well, that's...
Condemned was not quite as detailed.
Yeah,
I don't think.
That's fair.
Let's try Outlast. It looks very, very familiar. Nope. 75%. So not a great game. A decent game. Well, by our scale, an 8 or higher is great. Yeah, but 7s are good.
This is Metacritic scale.
It's true. We use the same scale, though. It's technically a 10-point scale.
Yeah, but not everybody is going to view... Like, a lot of people are going to look at a 7 and say, oh, that's crap. Whereas for us, a 7 is like, yeah.
Well, fuck them. 7 is good. 7 is good.
Yeah, 7 is good objectively, but do you remember people freaking out when Twilight Princess got an 8.8 and they're like, that's too low. It's practically a 90, guys.
Yeah, they're idiots. I don't listen to those people. I interpret. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I have no idea what this fucking is. Oh man.
Oh.
So it's a cross-generational title. Or maybe something that got re-released, but I don't know.
No, I've played this. Oh, this might be the medium.
Oh, okay. Nope. I don't know. I think if I had played a game where a dude had his spike through his head, I'm pretty sure I'd remember it.
I can see there's a crosshair.
Yeah.
What is this? 75%. That seems low. This looks so familiar. Though. Oh, and well, okay, no, it can't be Outlast 2 because we don't have a yellow. A zombie game. Horror survival. I'm going to know this one.
Not necessarily a zombie. It could just be a dude with a spike in his head.
Yeah, that's true. This looks so familiar, though. Like,
well, it kind of looks like every horror game looked back then. That's the problem.
Yeah. I recognize this the most. I remember a mirror that transports you somewhere.
See, that lighting is like reads as monolith to me, but it's not condemned or condemned too, so.
No. I remember you going in this mirror portal and you end up back in this like hotel or this motel, and the door always changes in the motel. I think that's what this game is, but all right, let's skip again.
What you got tons of UI there.
And the character. What is this?
Looks like he's on some kind of harpoon gun or something.
What the fuck is this game? Okay, we should know it by now.
I have no idea. I can tell you I've definitely never played this.
Oh, Evil Within. I think it's 2. Nope, it's 1. Okay. I knew I was gonna get it. Woo! Yeah, I knew I've played it.
Yeah,
I knew I've played it,
and I knew that I haven't played it.
Yeah, not a good game. Yeah. The second one's a lot better than the first one, but it's like I would give the first one like a 5. I'd give the second one like a 7.
Harsh.
Yeah, it's not good. 75% is very high for this game. The controls just suck, and it just feels very C tier, type of development. It felt like they were trying to go after the Resident Evil 4.
Well, yeah, because Shinji Mikami was as the director of this game. It was hot off of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, the quality just wasn't anywhere near there.
Another day, another screenshot with a plant in it.
A tree in a tree. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't tell anything from this.
The tree is kind of lower res than I would expect from the rest of the image. So
it looks like there's a curtain in the right there. That shape, that silhouette is kind of like what a curtain would take, just drawn off from the side.
Yeah.
I don't think that helps us any.
I don't know why I'm getting these vibes, but it could be Elder Scrolls Online. I don't know why it's giving me that. No. 72%. What is that? Is that a person?
It kind of looks like a creature. Maybe?
I'm not getting anything.
Oh, I think it's somebody face down.
Could be.
The energy is coming out of their right hand, and that thing, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't. It's not ringing any bells. That's for sure.
Yeah, you got some stuff floating up. I don't know. I have no idea.
Wow, lots of PS3, 360 gen stuff here.
Oh, yeah. What's that UI in the bottom left looking like?
I don't see any.
Oh, it's just barely there. It's like the top. There's a 0 out of 0 there for some reason on the right side. What do you mean 0 out of 0? What does that mean?
Yeah, that's a weird.
Does that mean you're out of ammo? Like,
maybe. Yeah, nothing in the clip and nothing in your inventory.
I feel like if I'd seen this creature before, I would recognize it.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe this is Vanquish.
No. That looks like Dark Sector. but I don't remember him having a gun though.
Well, we could try it. There you go.
Yeah, that game sucked.
Yeah, that was the jetpack game, right?
No, that's Dark Void.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. No, this was the one where you had this blade that you threw.
Oh, yeah.
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 What did it? It has a 72%. That's very high. Holy shit. They were generous back then.
Yeah. Once again. But this looks like it's got some stylization to
Yeah.
it.
I'm thinking like some sort of like Tetris effect or like luminous, like craziness, Tempest,
Maybe.
weird shit like that. But I don't have enough experience.
It sounds
with
like
any of
Dante
those.
knows.
He's so talkative today.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the weather. It's bothering him.
Yeah.
Say hi for the camera.
Never. Only when he's down and off camera.
Yeah.
Let's skip this and see if the next screenshot does anything for us.
It's still giving me Tetris
Fuck.
Effect vibes. I'm just gonna put Tetris Effect just
Sure.
because I don't know. Nope. Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is this like a Geometry Wars kind of thing?
I never played one that looks like this, but maybe. Wait, no, it never came to PS3. It was that was a Xbox exclusive.
But is there something else like that? Because it sure looks a lot like that. Fuck, I don't know.
No idea. Amplitude?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't.
Might as well try it.
No. Rail shooter music. Well, we're in the right.
Is this Res HD?
Yeah, I was gonna say Res, maybe. Yeah.
Or Res Infinite?
I think Res Infinite was the VR one.
Maybe.
But no, it's not Res either.
Oh fuck! I don't know.
I don't know.
Because Res was a PS2 game, but didn't it get an HD release in the 360 and PS3?
Guess is as good as mine, but apparently it's not in that series, so I have no idea.
Shit, I don't know.
No,
maybe it is. Maybe it is Tempest. Try Tempest and see if it comes.
Tempest wasn't a music game.
Tempest 4000, maybe.
No.
I
have no idea what this is.
Q Entertainment. So the Meteos people.
Huh.
It kind of looks like Panzer Dragoon, but it's not Panzer Dragoon. Yeah, it looks super like Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It looks cool, though. I'd like to know what this is.
Tell us what it is, Dante. The name of the game is Child of Eden.
Oh. Hold on a second. No. Hold on a second. Let me...
The name kind of rings a bell, but visuals certainly don't.
Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. This was the game that you could use the Kinect or the PlayStation Move.
Okay.
And he was the Res guy who designed this game.
Oh, okay.
Tetsuya Mizuguchi. Yeah. Okay.
So we were in the Res and Meteos world.
Yeah.
Makes sense that he would make a game like that.
Oh, this looks super fucking familiar.
Oh, is this Maniac Mansion or
no, Maniac Mansion.
Day of the Tentacle?
No, it's not the right style for Day of the Tentacle.
Is it The Dig?
No.
I have no idea. It doesn't ring any bells.
God, this looks like the background of some kind of beat 'em up. It looks super familiar.
It's definitely not Super Nintendo generation though.
No,
it looks too good.
No. Maybe it's like the background to like a Marvel vs. Capcom stage or something. It just I feel like I've seen this before, but It'd be one or two.
Oh, it's definitely a fighting game.
Oh yeah, that's a Darkstalkers.
Oh wait, this is not rated,
So it'd be an older one.
or something that's not out yet. We've had one of those before.
Try Darkstalkers. Any of them. It'll just tell us if it's in the right series.
Nice job.
Nice.
What the fuck is that? That is a giant baby.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's super obviously Darkstalkers.
It's a fucking weird ass game.
With that fucking Morrigan.
Look at the mouth.
That's been unchanged for fucking forever.
Holy shit, that's scary. Okay, where are we?
Oh, now we go to easy mode. Oh, fuck you. The Long Dark?
It could be. Nope.
No.
Wow, 93. Oh, it's World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Moving on. Whoa, nice image there.
That's always the problem with MMOs. It's like, oh, this epic scene of all these players. It's just a fucking endless field of names.
And this is Dead Space.
Wow, that might be the fastest we've ever had.
I remember that sequence. They made it way better in the remake.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because before it was like, I don't know. You should play the remake.
I've played the remake.
Oh. Okay.
I haven't played all of it, though.
Oh, okay.
I played it on my sister's PlayStation. Oh, man, I don't know. This looks familiar, but I can't tell what it is just from this.
I think it's a Vita game.
Oh.
What was that dungeon crawler Vita game? It used the touch controls.
I don't know.
All right, if we'll skip and we'll see
yeah.
if I get confirmation. Oh,
67%. This is a crime. What?
wow!
Did the person who makes this website edit in their commentary?
Yeah, apparently, early on.
Okay, but what kind of crime is it? Is it over or underrated?
I'm assuming underrated.
Oh, so the story of everything on the Vita?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, this doesn't look like the game, but this definitely looks like the game. But I don't have it yet. Skip again.
Sure.
It's just a cloud.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Sea of Thieves. Right?
I guess.
That is a crime if it's got a 62%. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, somebody's very passionate about Sea of Thieves.
Well, see, I don't think this was
the Skull Cloud.
It's the Skull Cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we got to remember this was in 2022, so the game's come a long way since 2022. So 67% back then may have been accurate.
Yeah.
You know, it's done a lot since then. All right, we'll finish up to 40 here.
This looks kind of familiar,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't identify what it is, so not that familiar. And because it's early in this thing, it's going to be really obvious.
I can't. Is that a pre-rendered background? For whatever reason, I'm getting Final Fantasy VIII vibes from it, and I don't know why.
Hold on a second. I just pulled my headphones out. You could say all sorts of horrible things about me, and I'd have no idea.
You suck.
Well, I plugged it in right as you said that, so suck it. Too slow.
Yeah, I was getting like Final Fantasy VIII vibes from it because it looks kind of pre-rendered to me.
If that was a Final Fantasy VIII pre-rendered background, those trees would look way better.
Chrono Cross? It does look pre-rendered to me.
Look way better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is pre-rendered.
No?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to skip then because I don't have anything else. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. A 90 from 2022 or before, but obviously pretty recent because that looks good.
Mm-hmm.
That looks good.
I don't know what it is though. It's fucking grass, like always.
Skip.
Okay, this we should be able to recognize.
And I don't.
But I don't, yeah.
A 90 from the PS4, Xbox One, PC days.
There's some platforms there. A crazy sunset. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything.
Yeah, no idea.
Oh, it's Monster Hunter Worlds.
Oh.
Which explains why I don't recognize it, because
yeah.
I didn't play it more than the beginning of the game. So, yeah. All right, last one.
Fuck, I don't know. Bloodborne. It's gloomy and it's got some wrought iron.
I think it's Little Nightmare.
Okay.
Wait, we got one of those before, didn't we?
Probably.
I think it's one of the two. I'm pretty sure. Nope. Oh, it's Hollow Knight.
Oh.
Bam.
I love how Silk Song is in there, even though it's not out yet.
Not out yet. Yeah. Probably because they thought it would be out. That's my guess. Great game, though. Fantastic game. Highly recommend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the 50th episode of Press Pause, a gaming podcast.
1 year, because I was sick for 2 weeks, so we didn't do shows.
So here's the weird thing about this whole 50 thing, is that I'm 90% sure that I missed at least 2 episodes with your predecessor. So how we ended up at 50 after a year, I don't understand.
Because I was sick for 2 weeks, and because I couldn't speak.
But that would mean that we would be at 48.
Oh, you mean you missed 2 episodes in addition to the ones that you missed with me?
Yeah, with your predecessor.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
So I have no clue how this happened, but I like it though. You know, hit 50 just before the 1 year mark. I like it. If you want to follow me on the socials, I'm at TJ-Leo on BlueSky.
And I'm at Ninjas on BlueSky.
If you want to email us, you can do so at co.op.podcasts@gmail.com. Don't forget to join the Co-op Club Discord community server. Link is in the description. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, all that good stuff.
Ding-a-ling.
Ding-a-ling.
And
we will...
Wait, what?
I'll go get my ding-a-ling on anytime I want, sir.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Even right now? On camera?
Maybe off camera.
I'll fucking get my ding-a-ling on right now. Hold on a second. Where's the YouTube video? Where's that bell?
Oh, jeez.
Hold on. Hit channel. Where's that bell? Do they not show the bell if you're not logged in?
I don't know.
I guess my ding-a-ling
you can't ding-a-ling.
Remain undingled.
You're dingleberry. Okay. That's enough ding-a-linging. Whoa. What? What'd I say?
I don't know. Let's not go there.
Let's not go with the dingleberry land.
No, stop saying it. Stop.
All right, we will be back next week, I believe, with an extra. If not, we'll be back at our normal scheduled time for Press Pause Gaming Podcast, episode 51. Until then, get back to gaming.
We'll see you then, punks.